Kablow! It's me. Your guy, your favorite guy, the only guy you've ever needed in your life. I'm here. Hold on, my volume's kind of like weird. It's kind of giving me a little feedback in my ears. I'm seeing a lot of faces here today. We've got an actual buttered chicken, is in the chat. We got Jake. Jake is here. Maybe I should put something Zeta on this timeline today. Skyrim fan Adrian just gave us a follow. Thank you for that. Greg's here. I hope you're feeling better, Greg. From what you said was going on Thursday. We got conspiracy, but we got a lot of people here with us today. So if you haven't been to the first couple of these timeline streams, essentially we're trying to build. They signed me out of the timeline website. That's fine. We can get back in. But essentially, what the plan is to build the DCAU timeline in a visual way that you're able to actually scroll through as a whole, rather than going to separate videos and everything. And we're trying to get a lot more in depth than we have in some of the videos. Just because we've got, more information on some things than we had at some point. And, on top of that, we're just hanging out. We're just a bunch of bros and broettes, just chitting it up, chatting it up, doing all of those kinds of things. Let me see. This is not correct. This is not the one that I signed into, is it? Did I sign into the wrong one? I think I signed into the wrong one when I just signed back. How do I sign out? Usually it just signs me out myself. Yes, I did sign into the wrong one. Whoopsie doopsie. We're off to a great start. How are y'all all doing today? In this new year. I think the last time I streamed it was New Year's Eve. So it's been a whole year. Or whatever it is they say. Why am I getting so much feedback in my headphones? Maybe they weren't plugged in all the way. I hope you guys aren't hearing me all kinds of fuzzy, because if that's the case, then maybe it's not my headphones and you should check your ears. And okay, one more time, the correct one this time. The Watchtower Database digital library email, where we keep all of our stuff all hidden in a cloud drive. Mattie, did you see my Golden Girls intro I made? It's Yaddle, by the way. I do not believe I saw that. Wait, did I just drag everybody out of the Discord voice chat then? It says Rob is still over there. It says Yaddle's still over there. Are y'all just multitasking? When are we gonna timeline Arthur? God, never. That would be a nightmare. We'll get this up and loaded soon. I was trying to have everything together and loaded beforehand, and I did, and then it said it signed me out. Y'all saw that. It signed me out all by itself. We're over here pogging right now. Cold and wet. Just get yourself inside. Stand under the heater. Danny, what time is it where you're at, Danny? Like, I always feel like you're up insanely late for your time zone. In chat talking shit about me. I wouldn't doubt it. You'll send me the intro. Okay. I don't know. I can't watch it on stream because already it's just giving me, loading problems. Jeez, why is it not loading this? I might have to exit the stream and restart it. I've never had it just kick me like that. I'm in VC and Watchtower Database Discord server. Okay, so a lot of y'all are in there. 2 a.m. I'll more than likely fall asleep before the stream ends. Jesus. Yeah, I won't blame you if you do. I might have to restart the. Why is it doing this to me? I'm gonna hit the refresh button. The internet doesn't care that I'm trying to do a live stream. I guess this is part of the craft, is dealing with this kind of stuff. But man, I feel like it happens to me way too often. Oh, there it is. We're in. We're in the selection menu. We just gotta wait for it to load the actual timeline graphic so far. Who's the best protagonist on Steven Universe? So far, I've been really into Pearl. Though I gotta say, we finished season 1 last night. And now that I know Garnet's a fusion, that brings in a whole lot of interesting stuff. I've never watched the series all the way through, so maybe my opinion will change over time. But they're all pretty interesting in their own right. It's insane how much they do with an 11-minute runtime on that show. They just pack so much into an episode. Like, I kept seeing people be like, so much of this stuff in the show is filler, but like, is it though? Like, I get that some episodes like don't drive forward like the space alien plot, but like even then, none of the episodes feel like filler. The page isn't responding. God damn it! Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Kind of. I tell you what, one day I'll have a computer that doesn't hate me the way that this one does. We got Doritos in the chat now. I was just telling Sissy that she needs to keep me stocked up on some gaming fuel while we're in here pro gaming on twitch.com. And she just looked at me and said, okay. So hopefully Doritos will be on their way in a little bit for my pro gaming session. Hey, there you go, Jake. We got some Zeta right here in the middle. Okay, that's the whole thing. Will it let me interface with it, or is it just gonna... Okay, no, I can scroll now. Let me zoom in. We've been having some issues. So, like, the plan is to get, like, everything kind of as heavily notated as possible as to why we have it in the places that we have it. And that includes, adding in contradictory evidence whenever that arises, just to be like, hey, like, we know this is a thing, but here's why we've got it that way, blah, blah, blah. I've been trying to do as much of it as I can on stream, but for some reason, a lot of the screen grabbing stuff, at least with the cartoon pulling up streaming services and everything to get it to run, doesn't like to go while it's on stream. So some of that we may not have really cleaned up as we go along tonight, but what I do try to do is clean up between streams and then share the link in the Discord, just in case any of y'all are interested in that. It's been a lot of fun seeing Mattie react to this stuff. The Steven Universe stuff. It's been a fucking ride so far. I was not anticipating. Like I knew that they had like, I knew a little bit about like they're magical kind of thing. But I figured it'd be just like any other kid show with magical stuff. Like the starting of Adventure Time, the first few seasons of that before they decided to have a plot. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Have I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla? I haven't played any Assassin's Creed at all. I've been playing Borderlands 3 recently though. Where I think we're towards the end of the game. The mission we've got to go right now is called the Great Vault, which is what they've been looking for the whole game. So I'm thinking that we're getting close to the end. And it's been an interesting ride. There's a lot of like small technical mechanics that kind of like issues, I guess, that kind of take me out of it. Like the text is way too small, and I have to keep getting up off the couch to read it. And put my face right in front of the fucking TV. But overall, it's been a pretty fun game. I don't know that it was worth the $80-$90 I paid for the deluxe edition. The fillers help flesh out the world a lot, at least in the first couple of seasons. From what I remember, the only time fillers really bothered me in this show was season 4. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, even when they found the VHS tape of Steven's mother, and like we went back to the donut shop for him to use their VCR. That's the word. I was gonna say VHS player. VCR. Like I literally went, oh my god, that's why they introduced that in that episode where they had Steven work at the donut shop for the day. Like it feels like the small stuff actually matters to the big stuff. So it's a lot of fun in that way. Playing Just Cause 4. I don't know anything about Just Cause, so I didn't even know that there were 4 of them. Sissy is the Dorito Winch. Batman Beyond is the best DCAU show, unless you like the Zeta Project. But to be fair, without Batman Beyond, we wouldn't have gotten the Zeta Project, so it's kind of a toss-up. So last time we tried to work our way through DCAU resources timeline, and we got all of the Batman Beyond stuff that happens in between Justice League Unlimited and Batman Beyond. At least for the most part. Some of the stuff they had was like, this is kind of guesstimated because of this, that, and the other. And so I figured, I can't really do anything with the guesstimations as far as, giving it a concrete date on a timeline. So I kind of skipped over that. But we do have now, I think we're getting up to where Batman Beyond actually takes place. And I don't know that they specifically have anything different than what I already had, except for, they have it taking place in 2056 because of the 65 years thing in Epilogue. And because Bruce Timm is like, no, it's 50 years in the future, despite Zeta Project being like, no, it's 2041 is the exact date. So their years will be different, but like just in case they have any different notes, I figured coming back in and starting off here, ending their timeline would probably be the way to go. Steven Universe is a good show. Cartoon Network did not want Steven Universe to have a plot, so they could run episodes out of order. Yeah, that's. I mean, I would imagine that that's how networks are with most cartoons. It would make sense, right? Because most cartoons don't actually have continuity and can hit those reruns. But now that binging TV is much more of a thing than it's ever been, that long-form storytelling just makes a lot more sense. So what do we got? We got 2056, Bruce Wayne. So that's Rebirth Part 1. Encounters McGinnis 50 years after the most present event in the DCAU. That's what I was talking about. They've got the Bruce Timm 50 years after the most present event. So it's 2056 now instead of 2039. Batman Beyond's Blackout. This event occurs. The year is roughly based on happening before Golem. Willie Watts. Golem. This event takes place. Spring indicates March. So I've got the spring fling already from our timeline video that we did. Batman Beyond's Meltdown. This event happens. The month is based on the East Coast American weather raising to less colder temperatures. Okay. So right here, I guess that's something that I can put. If I can move things around. That episode Meltdown with Mr. Freeze is very snow based. In a way that he's not the one. Oh my god, why is it just zooming in on itself? But it's in a way that he's not specifically the one causing the snow. So one would assume that means that we're still early in the year, kind of winter months. or something like that. So that would kind of be after Golem because of production order. So let me see if I can slide these 2041 events down, and then we can pop in Meltdown and some notes on it. What is a DC animated movie that you would like to see come to life? Do you mean like, are you asking along the lines of like, what is a movie that DC has already done animated that I would like to see a live action adaptation on? Or are you asking like if I could pitch like a DC movie for animation, like what would I do? Because those are two completely different questions. I just, it's not very clear which one you are asking. I hate the select mode on here. I always accidentally drag after I've selected my bubbles, and it deselects them all. Wait, you said yes to which one? I still don't have a lot more clarity here. I guess I could answer both questions, right? So if it was a DC animated movie that I would like to see a live action version of, I would be interested in seeing maybe like I think Superman Man of Tomorrow is what I'll go with. I was gonna say Apocalypse War, just because I feel like Apocalypse War was probably one of the better DC animated movies recently, but if they were going to do that in live action, they would have to do it. They would have to do it in with a built continuity around it. And right now, that would be the DCEU. And as much as I would love to see so many versions of those specific versions of those characters just die and be done with, it also would kind of mean that the movie's not being done very well. It's not true to what we see in the animated version. Whereas with Man of Tomorrow, it's been such a long time since we've had a good Superman movie in live action, and goddamn would I love to be interested in Superman again. It like not to say Man of Steel is like a completely garbage movie by any means. Like I whenever it first came out, I was really excited about it. I was very on board with what was going on. I enjoyed the movie at the time, but when I revisited it lately, it doesn't do it for me. And if it still does it for you, that's all well and good. But I would like to see a Superman that's more about being a symbol of hope than about having the whole the inner struggle with godhood being the main focus, right? Like I don't know, man. That's interesting, sure, but like that's not the core of Superman. That's not the way you start a Superman. That's something that you can do down the line, and maybe have something set up where he's he's still alive and many of his loved ones have passed on, and he's got to grapple with the godhood in that way of just basically kind of being immortal. But when you're doing a Superman origin, you want that to encapsulate a well-rounded, like, this is what Superman means to people, this is what people mean to Superman. So Man of Steel just doesn't grab that for me. And I know they've got the whole on my world, the S stands for hope thing, but like, okay, and your world's exploded, and like you're telling me that you're about hope rather than showing it to me, and you don't need to walk me by the hand. Someone needs to get in the scriptwriter's room, walk you by the hand to show you how you're supposed to be doing this. But as for the other question, if I could pitch a an animated DC movie, it would be a Justice League Beyond, Warhawk and Cairo buddy cop movie that focuses on Cairo being the successor to John Stewart as Green Lantern, that focuses on the new League, allowing a child in the League after, long after what had happened with Timm, and Batman not being okay with it. Like there's a lot of drama that you could cover in there, and you could even, if you want to, you could even pull in some of the stuff from the Batman Beyond, Justice League Beyond 2.0 comics, where we find out that Curare and Cairo are siblings, and kind of do like martial arts assassin stuff. I mean, with Warhawk and Cairo specifically, it feels like it would be a more space-based movie, but who's to say there aren't space assassins, right? We're in the 2040s by this point, where the world is aware that space aliens exist because we've had them for decades after being invaded by, the white squishy guys. So I don't see why I don't see why it being space-based would take out the assassin angle, because like the villains are going to capitalize on that too. And okay, we have our first new thing in. Snow is on the ground, indicating it's still early in the year. But yeah, that was a lot of words to answer two small questions, and I should probably see what else y'all are saying. Greg hasn't seen Man of Tomorrow. Definitely watch it. It's a lot of fun. Zack Snyder's movies don't really hit that much. Yeah, and like it's a shame, right? Because like I get that that there's complicated stuff in that's been going on in Zack's life, and I wish him all the best in that aspect. I feel like as brilliant as he is with visuals, storytelling as a whole just doesn't seem to be his strong suit, in my opinion. Like I've watched many Zack Snyder films and been like, wow, this really looks great, but I wish I knew what was going on, or I wish I cared what was going on. The only movie of his I feel like that I've seen that hits that sweet spot for me is Watchmen, and more or less that's because they already had a pretty good script to start off with, right? Like doing Watchmen in live action isn't the same as doing Batman or Superman in live action, where you have so much to pull from in both of those. Doing Watchmen in live action was just, no, this is the one Watchmen story. This is what you have to do. So luckily he had something that's already a pretty strong foundation to then go and show off and make into spectacle with his visual direction. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Zack. I hope he makes, if I'm hoping that the Snyder cut is good, but I don't anticipate it to be. I hope it's good because like I like these characters, and a lot of people put a lot of heart into making sure that it happens, and like it'd be a bummer for all those people to be disappointed. I know a lot of them are internet jerks, but it's one of those things where it can't be all of them are assholes. So I just hope that that's something that people will be able to enjoy, and I hope that I will be able to enjoy it. I just do not anticipate that for myself. Do they actually show her face? Curare? I don't remember if they did or not, but there is a model sheet out there somewhere of her without her mask on. Hello, Twitch. Twitch is the best. I would like a DCAU question animated series. I'm down. I'm in for that. I find people's hyperbolic responses to Zach's films way more entertaining than the films themselves, from both positive and negative. I could see that. That's it's generated a lot of content over the years to just watch what the fans have to say. I will say, as much as his films don't really do it for me, he's got a really, really vocal fan base. So they gotta do something for someone. It's just not me. Batman quoting Dick Cheney. Am I right, fellow war criminals? Hey, let's see. Where were we? We just had Meltdown. Let's see. This event happens. Month is based on that. Terrific trio is formed. Batman Beyond Heroes is stated the accident happened months ago. Derek Powers manipulates Walter Shreve. This event happens. This event happens. This event happens. This event happens. So like a lot of the stuff like they have on here, they just have this event happens rather than anything telling you why it is, where it is. I'm sure they're going by production order, as well as I am, at least for Batman Beyond. But like, okay, but what makes this happen in summer? Because we don't have anything to really narrow that down. Summer 2056, Batman reveals his identity to a child to save him, prompting Cobra to kidnap him. On Unmasked, this event is recalled. This holds valid on Plague. When Cobra first appears, Agent Bennett cuts off Batman after he mentions Cobra, implying that Batman had previously met the organization. Most of that is just trying to explain away a plot hole. But we don't have anything specifically saying that it was summer. I remember that it says that it was pretty soon after he started being Batman. But I don't recall anything saying it was summer. They didn't show the fade in the show. They didn't show the fade in the fade. What you talking about, the fade? Get you a shower, Jake. Rob already said it. I'm just taking his advice and repeating it. But yeah, I mean, if you don't want to be sweaty, best thing you can do is take a shower. That's I'm sure you're probably I'm guessing you might be at work or something like that. But if you ain't at work, just hop on in there. They got Twitch on your phone. You could bring me with you. I won't be seeing anything. Hey, let's see. Summer 2056. Bruce Wayne discovers a Wayne Powers deep space probe received an anomalous transmission from a parallel universe. He patches it to the Batmobile for Batman to observe. They see fish thrown painted on eyebrows. Oh, this is the Beyond Batman thing. This event happens. Placement is conjecture based on Wayne Powers still being around. That's okay. That's yeah. There's not really gonna be a lot to place that, is there? I'm surprised they actually they actually threw that in here as if it were canon. Because I know I was gonna do that, but I feel like sometimes I play a little bit more fast and loose. With what does and doesn't get on the timeline than some folks do. He means the face, not the face. Oh, yeah. I gotcha. After watching Superman the Animated Series, the episode Warrior Queen, who the strongest female you've seen? Hawk Girl, Maxima, Wonder Woman, or the Female Furies? I feel like Hawk Girl would get my vote there. Um, just on account of, I feel like her whole thing is about being, a tough ass. But maybe Maxima. It's been a while since I watched that episode. Your work shut down because of COVID. I feel you. My work is still shut down because of COVID and is never coming back. And now I do this. I mean, I've been doing this, but what did you miss? Not much. Yeah, just a little bit of Man of Steel discourse. Not too much. And I was pitching what animated movie from DC I would like to see live action and what just original animated pitch I had. Don't tell him to get out of here. This is the only safe space he has after the voice chat got taken over by Auld Lang Syne. Let's see. What else do we got? Batman returns to Batcave to find it under attack by robots modeled after different versions of Batman. Placement is conjecture based on Batman still having just started out and referring to Bruce Wayne as Mr. Wayne. That's a very loose reason to place that there, but okay. Summer 2056. David Clinton loses his tenure. Clinton spends months perfecting his Chronos belt and stealing trinkets that would not alter the timeline. On JLU's The Once and Future Thing, this event happens. Tenure is usually decided after the end of the collegiate semester. The year is based off of Static's comment that he was 65 years old, 50 years older than what the time-traveling JLU knew Static to be. Okay, that's Justice League Unlimited. So I need a new color. For that. What color should the Justice League Unlimited bubbles be, and what color should the text be? I got purple for Static already. I've got black for Batman Beyond, and then I've got white for stuff just in general, stuff that's mentioned but isn't shown on screen. So I need Justice League Unlimited color. I'm halfway thinking orange, but I also feel like because I've had the Zeta DVD for so long, that orange should be Zeta's color. I want to. Saz for Cheese says blue. All right, are we down with blue, everybody? Let's go with blue. But what color should our text be for Justice League Unlimited? Why is it's not letting me see the top of the color chart so that I can choose between being a bubble and text color? But we'll make it a blue. I'll just click off of the bubble chart and then see, we got someone else saying red and gold. I think I like the blue idea. Let me see what I can get as close to gold. Does that look like gold? Oh, that's the bubble color again. Blue and gold were my high school colors. Maybe that's why I'm feeling like that matches up. I don't remember specifically what the time codes are on the show when he gets, like, when because it starts out we're in Neo Gotham, right? It starts out in Neo Gotham, and then he goes back in time 50 years, and then comes forward in time to a corrupted 50 years later for Once and Future Thing Part 2. But I'm putting that after everything because I'm gonna still treat that as though that part is 50 years in the future to make sense of the different Static Shock what's it called? Character designs and everything. And once again, that doesn't necessarily pull Batman Beyond to be 50 years in the future, because anytime we saw the characters from that show, it was a timeline perversion. So it'll be okay. Isn't her face just undefined in the brief clip? We're still talking about Curare. Hold on. Actually, let me see if I can find, because we've got the image of her face. I just would have to dig through my my Google Drive for it. Episode begins in Neo Gotham. Said to be 50 years in the future. Static is 65. And then I guess I could duplicate that and just, can I duplicate? Copy bubble. Paste. Is your favorite Flash villain out of Reverse Flash? Are you asking if my favorite Flash villain is Reverse Flash, or did you accidentally hit the enter before giving me other options? I've got to be honest. I don't know as much about the Flash as I probably should. They've always been a character that intrigued me, but I've never really gone out of my way to read too much about them or watch the TV show. So I wouldn't say that I necessarily have a favorite Flash villain, unless like a villain that I know pretty well because of other things just happens to be a Flash villain. Like, I don't know, maybe Solomon Grundy might. Solomon Grundy's not a Flash villain, but you get what I'm saying. And then this bubble, I will put I'll put a corrupted time. What's up?
I need a charger.
Oh, okay. Sissy's in the house.
Oh my god.
Here you go.
Thank you, I love you.
Love you too. Alright, so I will put that this is a corrupted future. And I will add what you call it, images to that later, in between streams when I have access to those images. Let's see. August. Bruce Wayne takes Terry McGinnis on an extensive tour of the Batcave. One item of interest encountered is a prototype Batsuit. Ink is freed from cryostasis. This event takes place in Batman Beyond's Disappearing Ink. Terry states it took him 6 months to convince Wayne to give him the tour. Oh, hey, everyone's talking to Sissy. Saying, this wiki has the alleged concept art of her face. That's probably the same thing. I'm pulling it up on my phone. I probably should pull it on the stream. Yes, that's exactly what I was. Hold on, let me see if I can bring that over so that everyone else can just see it. That's what we've got. I do not remember where specifically this came from though, because like it doesn't look to be signed by anybody, but it does look like concept art. Concept art of her face. She's got some little nipples, little nips poking out. It was a little cold when they took that photo of her. There we go. That's as big as it'll get, unless I... There it goes. That is supposedly what Kirare's face is supposed to look like. So now you all know, because it's Mike's super short show. Let me pull the Twitch chat back up over here. You can't tell Sissy to seize control of the stream. If she did that, then who would I bore? All right. I'm gonna have to move more things again. I probably should have at some point gone back in and just added all of the title cards that I have, just so that there was space already for them before we put notes in. But I am a fool, so I did not do that. Let's see. So we've got Disappearing Ink. Takes place about 6 months after Terry becomes Batman. So I would say that that's still in early 2040. Personally, that's one of the things that I have an issue with the just in time for fall quote in Rebirth, is that would mean that like this happens in like September or October maybe, and then we have like an almost 6 month gap up to Golem in March or so, because Spring Fling baby, and then everything from Golem up to Disappearing Ink would then be squeezed, sandwiched into a very, very quick gap of time. I mean, maybe we could say that like... No, okay, I was going to say that we could say that stuff is out of order and make it work that way. But Golem very much introduces the camouflaging capabilities on the Batsuit. And so anytime he uses, oh god damn it, I didn't get out of the select mode again. I started dragging. But so anything that has him using that mode on the Batsuit then has to be after that, and it's almost everything relies on that. So we weren't able to move it around in that way. You all need to be selected so I can move you. Excuse me. I mean, granted, though, there are some things that, like, even in order don't really make much sense. Like I want to say in Disappearing Ink, she destroys the Mr. Freeze gun that's on display. But then there are episodes that have to happen later on that show that, and like it's an animation mistake. But if you want to look at it from a continuity aspect, it's just like, why is this happening? Jake says you're classy, sissy. Hello, Justin Lego Productions. It's good that one of us thinks so. What program am I using? This is bubble.us. It is a website that was recommended to me by Comic Drake a while ago. It's what he was using to kind of keep track of his what Marvel characters bang notes. And so I ended up picking this up from him. I think he's using something else now, but I like how this one do. I heard a good job, Robin. Raguchi25 has followed. Man, let me tell you, if y'all were just following me like in real life, that would be a lot more intimidating than being followed on the internet. I don't think I'd be able to handle it just consistently. However many of y'all are following, it'd be a nightmare. You guys should ask Dan Riva about the curare face. See what he says. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Just to be sure. I mean, like, I want to say, get that one out of here. I want to say that that James and or Ted like know where that originally came from, and maybe I just don't. It's just whenever we started putting all of our stuff into a cloud drive, one of them already had that. So I'm not too clear on its origin myself, but one of the others might. So we might not even have to get in touch with Dan about it. That guy is a jackass. Dan is a sweetie pie, and you will be forced to respect him. I'm sure. I know you're joking. I know it's a little funny, haha, but I just don't understand how you can get psychokinetic powers from a robot. Because science. I would love to do a video soon about all of the fake science in the DCAU. But I don't know specifically what to do other than be like, that's not how science works. That's science. No, that's not science. Like, but what about that would be interesting, you know? Like, maybe if I try to do it all to myself, give myself psychokinetic robot powers, maybe that could be fun. Or you know, chop off my limbs and give myself like robotic arms, like the dudes in April Moon. It said this is 6 months after rebirth. I do remember that line. It's just one of those things of getting it to stream and then putting it in here being a pain right now. I just noticed that particular Curare concept art looks a lot like Robert Vance. I could see it. I could see that. I'm trying to think. There was another. Oh yeah, in the Baby Doll episode. Come to find out, one of her co-actresses on the Love That Baby sitcom, their last name is Vance, and so I kind of had it in my head that maybe they're related. It's something I brought up to James and Ted recently, so you know it's gonna be canon. Because once we decide on things, they just become that way. August 5th, 2056, Zeta completes his investigation of Eugene Dolan and goes renegade. This event is remembered, and on Quality Time, the date is given. Due to contradictions, the year is changed from 2041 to 2056. See, I don't know why someone would do it that way instead of saying this is what the show specifically says. Like, I understand that Justice League Unlimited has those two things that say 50 years and 65 years, and you know, the 65 minus 15 that's mentioned later on in the episode makes it 50 years. But those things to me seem to be the easier things to throw out, because the 2039, the 2040, 2041, that's all established time and time again, right? Because not only are you throwing out this 2041 date, you're throwing out the Static Shock, you just hopscotched over 40 years line. You're throwing out the that was almost 40 years ago in Return of the Joker. Like, it just seems like it's so much more solidified that way to me. Of course, don't you know anything about science? Was that a James quote? I remember there was a video where he was making fun of scientists a lot. I am almost finished on season 1 of Justice League. Hell yeah! You're about to get into some of the best stuff in that show. The first season's a little weak. It's got some good ones. It's got some high points, but they started hitting their stride in the second season. Dr. Corso meets Harold, later Bullwhip for the first time. 1 week later, Corso meets April. I think I grabbed that whenever I was making notes elsewhere from April Moon. Where did the rest of the timeline go? Where did it go? I did not accidentally trash it, did I? Oh my fucking god, what? 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 Oh my god. Did y'all watch me trash part of the timeline and just not say anything? Because if you did, kudos to you for making me make a fool out of myself. Now I have to hit the undo button. Get that disappearing ink out of here. Give me back all of my other work. I probably accidentally hit delete, not realizing I still had everything selected. Oh my god. There it is. I found it. It's here. It was hiding behind the undo button. Guess it vanished into the vanishing point. James is talking about wanting to bring that show back somehow. And I'm not sure specifically how we would do it, but it is something that he's feeling like would be fun. Personally, I think that it would have to wait till we were all in one place and had a recording studio office kind of situation set up, just because I don't currently have room for the big the string wall anymore at this apartment that I'm living in now, and it would be nice to just have that up somewhere where we're collectively at. But also I feel like a big part of that was because it's Thursday thing, and I feel like we don't really have the opportunity to do a lot of additional videos to what we already do, especially with James's kid on the way. So doing stuff on Thursdays again just doesn't seem like it would work in the current landscape. But maybe one day. Disappearing ink. This is 6 months after rebirth. And bada boom, that's there. The rest of the timeline is there. We're all good. I wonder what Bruce is doing since he retired 2 years ago. He's probably just partying. Are you ready for Matt Reeves' Batman? I'm interested. I'm interested to see what they're doing with it. But I'm so tired of dark and gritty Batman. I would much rather have a Batman that I can believe lives in the same world as, talking gorillas than a dude who's just consistently beating up crooks and villains. Like he's a comic book character. He's not just a cop in a mask. Please stop writing him that way. I was really excited when they first announced Riddler was going to be part of this, because that kind of made me feel like, oh, maybe we are going to do not necessarily like into the fucking Joel Schumacher campiness, but like just having like a little bit of that. Yes, this is a comic book. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. Kind of air to it. But then they decided that instead of doing that, they would just make the Riddler dark and gloomy too. So I'm interested to see it, but like it's just I'm already just not too overwhelmed with what I've seen so far. I'm enjoying it, but it's missing that character building. Yeah, that stuff gets there more so in the second season. First they took your chair, now they took your timeline. That did happen. Is the ringmaster not us? I'm not sure I understand. Let's see. We wanted to see how long it would take you. You didn't even know, Rob. I'm just listening while I play Ghosts of Sus. Ghost of Sus. Is that what, like the samurai game or whatever that came out recently? That looked really interesting. I enjoyed Vanishing Point. I would rewatch those videos. Well, it might be a thing again in the future. There's also the fact that Vanishing Point's kind of tied up to our storyline. We've talked before about bringing it back after the storyline. Like the last bit of Vanishing Point videos, as far as like channel lore goes, happens after the point that we're at in the storyline, right? So like I time traveled out of the storyline, and then we still needed Vanishing Points to happen every other week regardless, and so I time traveled back in, essentially. Like the first one back was a video on time travel in the DCAU, and we kind of anticipated having the storyline wrapped up much faster, like even without COVID. Like we anticipated having the storyline kind of wrapped up long before Vanishing Point ever came to an end, and so the fact that it didn't, like, kind of made it weird, because now we have to, like, at the end of the storyline we gotta be like, oh, I'm time traveling back to do the rest of those videos now or whatever. And people are gonna be lost, but it is what it is. But we've been talking about potentially bringing it back in somehow through the storyline, but once again, I don't have room for the set here, and it's all part of the storyline that we can't finish until either Ted and I both get COVID, and now we're just like, okay, we're not likely to get it again, and we'll hang out. We can all hang out together and finish this, or once they get a vaccine and we can be like, all right, we're good to go. Hopefully, it's gonna be the latter of the two. Have you heard about news about Robert Pattinson? He's about to tap out his Batman. I haven't heard that. Did you see the BTS Massive Phantasm Sub-Zero? I heard about that. I do not have HBO Max, so it doesn't really affect my life in any way, especially since I have most of those on Vudu already. Is this for the website? In a degree, everything's for the website. Jake's tired of Batman, period. I feel that. There does get to be a point where there's a little bit of Batman fatigue. I get there every now and then with the channel, and luckily they let me write a Halloween video or a Minions timeline. But yeah, I feel you. I got a new Batman video coming out tomorrow. If you need a bit of a goofy or just not that serious Batman, can I recommend Batman: The Brave and the Bold? I've watched it before. I love it. I love Brave and the Bold. That report about Pattinson is originally from The Sun, which isn't an especially credible source. Do you have thoughts on the DC renewal? I don't know what you're talking about, so no, I don't. I guess if Vanishing Point comes back, it could be the JLU of WDB. Ooh, now that you say it that way. By the way, was it your decision to make future Mattie a Mr. Freeze head kind of? Yeah. So as far as the storyline goes, what'll happen is for the most part, I said, all right, this is where we are whenever we started it. I was like, this is where I would like for us to end up. Let's try to figure out the roadmap to get there. And I would throw a bunch of beats at James, and he would be like, yeah, that's good. But what if we also do this, that, and the other? And we just bounce ideas back and forth like that. So for the most part, the map of the story is all stuff that like I wrote out, and then he added further onto it, and whenever it's like a Will It Canon video where he's writing the script, he will write out the dialogue and everything for that section of the story, and then I'll just go back in with edits and be like, well, we said we wanted to do this, and so if we want to set that up, that's a good place to put in this line here, etc., etc., etc. But even before all of that was a thing, we did the Batman Beyond timeline, back in like 2017, now 2018. And at that point, we didn't really know we were going to be going into a story. And we just had... I just came to James. I was just like, hey, like, you do animations. It would be really cool to have this this intro animated with me as the Mr. Freeze head, so that I can use the Mr. Freeze line about like, I've been like this for 50 years, yada 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 yada. And he thought it was a fun idea, so we did that. And canonically speaking, that version of future Mattie isn't the same version that we see, because I end up saying something like, I'm just kidding, like, it hasn't been 50 years, I'm just hanging out in that video. But when we got to the point where I was being sent into the future, we were just like, hey, it would be really cool if we loop that back around. And we've got ideas to show how I became beheaded. Because like if you remember at the end of that video, like the future me is getting onto the present version of me, being like, hey, like, you've got to chill, or else this is going to happen to me. Like, this is because of you if you don't do the things that I'm telling you. And the present version of me is just like, all right, man, I don't care what you're saying. I'm wrapped up in my own thing. So it's going to play out for him to become a beheaded thing eventually. We're trying to figure out, and we've been trying to figure out some story ways to make that so where James doesn't have to, every time I show up on the channel, just be a head in a jar. And I think we've come up with something that's pretty good. One of our earlier versions was that I was going to finally escape the basement at some point, but he was going to track me down, and this was going to be set years in the future, and so James's character was going to be played by his dad, who played the future version of the Will It Canon James, who is a computer program. But so James's dad was going to play future James at a point where he had tracked me down after I had escaped, and he was going to behead me, and it was just going to be like a thing of like, no, we always need a continuity guy here, and you're not allowed to leave and do anything else. But we figured out something that I feel like is a lot better than that. So I'm really excited for when we get to show that off. Let's Let's see. We need to know when Arthur hit his sister. No. No. Bunch of Arthur Reeves. The universe told me you were talking about Vanishing Point, and I'm here for it. Hey, James. Welcome to the party. We're talking about the actual Vanishing Point and how to get there. It's you know, what is it? 2 clicks to the right and straight on till morning or whatever. I behead you for not... I'm... You know, Jake, you might be onto something. But... I'm gonna keep it zipped past that. Oh, where were we? So we got the disappearing ink 6-month situation. Dr. Corso meets Harold for the first time. 1 week later, Corso meets April. That's not right. That's not how that happened at all. He met April first and then met the bad guy. And I've got it all here because there was some stuff from April Moon that I had to pull in last time. But yeah, so late in the year he meets Harold, and then he met April a while back. Actually, like they were together for years. But I don't remember where I had that specifically placed. I didn't accidentally delete that, did I? I don't know. I think mostly everything is still there. You know what? I wasn't even thinking about the background music, just because we kind of hop into some videos sometimes on these. But yeah, I can put some background music. That can be a thing, because right now we're not doing the hopping into videos. Where the hell is Ted? All 3 of you are never seen on Twitch all at once. Ted is a mystery. But yeah, let me oh, you know what? It's gonna play an ad. It's gonna play an ad. So let me, you know what? It's let me know if stream quality starts to drop because I'm pulling this up. Because if it is, then I'm not gonna, you know, sacrifice stream quality for background music. I love Bambi. My mother was also shot by a hunter. Happens to the best of us. Though I'm not sure if you're making a joke and your mother was not actually shot by a hunter, or if you're being serious that she was shot by a hunter. But if you are being serious, then maybe I feel bad about saying it happens to the best of us. I don't know. Am I supposed to feel bad or not? Someone please tell me. So I've got that thing already. Chiari is contracted to assassinate. James is messaging me now. Let's see. This event happens. Matt McGinnis mentions he can be a werewolf in time for Halloween in Splicers. Okay. So Splicers might be around the time of Halloween. But then I feel like that might contradict the fact that there's a homecoming, because homecoming dances, aren't they in like September? I don't really remember specifically. I'll just put Splicers in here for right now, and then I will say there might be a Halloween mention. I remember him having a Wolfman mask in that episode, but I feel like there was a conversation James and I had about it, and they didn't actually mention Halloween, but I'm not 100% sure. I've also been, for those of you wondering what the numbers are in front of some of the episode titles, those are supposed to be the production numbers. I have them for like a lot of these episodes, but there are others that I don't. I was starting to put them in just to be like, this is the order they're in because that is the production order. but since I don't have all of them, they're few and far between. So splicers will be here, and if it'll let me add my little child. Why won't you do a Fred timeline? Oh God, don't make me ever watch those movies. I don't want to know anything about them. I know too much about them. Like his uncle is John Cena or something like that. And like not John Cena is playing a character, but like John Cena is the uncle. Halloween might be mentioned. She's fine. The bullet got caught in her love handles. I've been doing workout tapes all year, and it's the 8-minute abs specifically, and the guy gets really passionate about how awful love handles are, and it gives me a good laugh, because I know that was a huge thing in the 90s. They was always going on about how awful love handles are. But, you know, if you got love handles, own that shit. You know, don't be ashamed of your body. You know, try to keep yourself healthy, but if you're in a spot where that's not the easiest thing to do, don't be ashamed of it. Right? Because, like, there could be tons of reasons that you're not taking care of yourself, and, you know, whether it be monetary or you know, just emotional distress or anything like that, making it difficult to get up and go. That's nothing to be ashamed of, and as a result, you shouldn't feel ashamed of the outcome, you know. Let me move that back over. Ted is never involved with the storylines or the ones about Jay's reviews, so it makes him more interesting. Yeah, so the Jay's reviews stuff specifically, he was wanting, like, he asked me to do the first crossover, and then decided to, you know, ask James to do ones further out. And we've been trying to, like, figure out ways to tie that into our storyline. And that's part of why we did the multiverse thing, right? That stuff's set on Earth J. And there's, like, in our which one was it? Our DC animated movie universe timeline, we kind of cleaned the board for Earth J, and you know, send our versions into the white space. And you see in one of Jay's videos that happens to him as well. And our logic is that he just kind of got spit back out or whatever. But our second DC animated movie universe timeline, you know, still picks up on Earth J, and it kind of hints to where we're going forward. I'll say that much, because those versions of the characters are still in the white space, right? So what we're seeing there is either later down the timeline or is not necessarily those characters. But as far as Ted's involvement goes, we had some ideas to pull graphic content into the storyline as well, before we decided to axe graphic content, and we took those ideas and we started using them in different ways. You know, with the Mr. Nobody-esque Dr. Man hat Ted, who first shows up as, you know, a voice only in our Doom Patrol timeline where we're stuck in the white space, and he ends up doing the Does Continuity Even Matter video. And he's going to be a pretty big force going forward. His whole thing is like, as you'll see in the Does Continuity Even Matter thing, his whole thing is basically doing what I'm doing right now. and trying to make everything fit. But he has godlike powers like Mr. Nobody, so it causes a ruckus. What are we talking about? I tuned out. Nothing. The best movie in the DCAU is Batman Hush. Come on now. Come on. It's a fine movie, but it's not the best. I enjoyed it, but I've also never read Hush. So maybe I just didn't have anything to be disappointed over. Let's see. Where were we? Let's see. This event happens. Hidden agenda. This event happens. One of the main standardized tests for college is held in January. See, they put hidden agenda in January because of the test, but there's a homecoming dance. It's literally it's in the episode. So it would be in the fall. This event happens. Watt mentions that he would be out in 2 months in time for prom, which is traditionally held from April to May. Okay, we can do something with that. I think that was for Revenant, I believe. So that would place Revenant. Where are we? So we're after Splicers. We're after Hidden Agenda. Are we still before Zeta? We're still before Zeta. All right. So that works out. So we are in the year 2041. Who's your favorite character on Doom Patrol? I fucking love Larry. He's just an all-around brilliant character. Lot of stuff going on there. God, I want to rewatch the first season again. I'm hoping that whenever season 3 comes out, just going back and binging the first 2 seasons, going into it. That way, like, whenever I watch season 2, like, I've watched season 1 enough times that, like, season 2 definitely still hit for me, but there was enough space between watching season 1 and season 2 that, like, I don't feel it was as impactful as it could have been. And I'm hoping to go into season 3 with it being, you know, just as emotionally draining as the first one. As the first season was. Changing the Hush reveal just for a swerve is lazy writing. Okay, so here's the thing: is they had to, like, they have to sell a movie, right? And a lot of people are going to see a Batman Hush movie is coming out and be like, I already know the twist. Like, why do I even care? So, like, I get why they did it. But I feel you there. Like, there's gonna be 2 different sides to it, right? Because some people are gonna be like, I already know the twist. Why do I even care? And other people are gonna be like, they changed it. I don't even care. I'm not even. So I get it, but they just felt that one would lose more of an audience than the other, I suppose. Willie suggests, what, prom is 2 months away, was it? Is that right? Where did it go? Watt mentions that he would be out in 2 months in time for prom. Yes. Okay, tight. Let's see. Babel, this event happens. It is stated it was in the air for the past 3 months. implicitly after much of the oligarchy and the society are killed by. I'm not sure what's going on there. This event happens. This event happens. This event happens. This event happens. And here's Zeta. There we go. Patty Jenkins is going to multitask and try to make Wonder Woman 3, Rogue Squadron, Cleopatra, and a new TV series at the same time. My hope for those films has dropped to 0. I can't even write 2 Watchtower Database videos at the same time, so props to her for trying, but that just seems a lot. James is Ted. No, James is not Ted. James is James, but he's also Earth J James, but he's also Willett Cannon James, but his dad is also Willett Cannon James. Yeah, so does that make sense? I haven't read the Hush comic, but I still knew what was supposed to happen. They put that poster up in the episode to remind people because some people forget. No. Of course, how could I not seen it? I got to go with girl. W girl is eating sandwich. All right, well, you're W girl. Well, it was nice having you around, Jake. You always split right whenever Zeta gets mentioned. 2041 is 20 years into the future, as the DCAU would say. Yes. They're also trying to run 2 Batman movies at once. So many James they could take over the world. Well, just wait until you figure out how many Matties there are. Because we get to a place, right? One of the next places we're going in the story is a multiverse video. So while we have basically set up, at least 2 universes in the Watchtower Database multiverse. There's going to be more. Revenant should go over here with the 2041 group. Get over there. Right next to him. Kiss him. All right, where were we? 1 is more than... Oh, trust me, I've been told that all of my life, but... I'm more of a quantity over quality guy, If I can't be good, I'll be mediocre in 5 different ways. And Sissy can barely keep this one under chains. She couldn't chain me if she tried. Honestly, being in a relationship with Sissy has subdued a lot of my personality. Not necessarily in a bad way. I am a pretty outspoken and obnoxious person, and was very much more so when we were drinking, and so learning to live with someone who experiences social anxiety much worse than I do kind of got me to start reeling it back in a little bit. Let's see, where were we? March 2057, Zeta decides to disobey his orders and pursues freedom. He settles in Gotham City. They said it's been 6 months. It's been 6 days. This happens in August 2041. Spring break ends. Yeah, I've got that one. Enid Clinton finds out about her husband's time travel device and berates him for stealing junk. He jumps to blah, 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 blah. David Clinton states he lost tenure last summer and was using his belt for months. Tenure is usually this, that, and the other. Okay, that's more Justice League Unlimited stuff that I'll have to put in later, but is also kind of in and is towards the end of the timeline. Batman breaks up a gang of enhanced by Dr. Corso. Batman Beyond's April Moon. This event happens. Date is based on when April Moon occurs. There is no actual April Moon there's no April Moon in April Moon. It's a pop culture reference because his wife's name is April. I know these things. Am I going to do this for 4 hours this time? Maybe. We'll see. It's already been an hour and a half. and we're only about halfway through this thing. I am gonna get up and grab a drink real quick, so I will be right back. There we go. I'm here. I'm back. Don't fret. I'd say the timelines of the Arkham series. Oh, wait. Oh. It like went from being higher up on my screen to lower on my screen. I'd say the timelines of the Arkham series and the DCAU are the hardest to figure out. I've been wanting to do an Arkham timeline, but like if I do an Arkham timeline, I want to be like incredibly thorough with it, meaning I would have to like get up close and look at like all of the newspaper clippings and everything that are always on the walls in these games and shit, and it would just take so much time to do. Like I could easily do this game happens this point, and then this one's over here, and then this one's over here, but I don't like doing that. I like to be like, this is the timeline of that world, not the timeline of the pieces of media that exist about that world. No, you should stay gone. Let's see. This event happens. This event happens. This event happens. Event happens. I should have just looked for when it says this event happens and jumped over it. The modern DC universe states Bruce Wayne was born in the summer. You know what? You know what? There we go. That is actually something. Oh, that I think is much more tangible than Untouchable taking place in the summer. Out of the Past is based around Bruce's birthday, which DCU continuity typically places in the summer. I don't know if Danny's still in here with us, but he was specifically talking about how the Out of the Past they're at the beach thing doesn't necessarily indicate summer. He was agreeing with me on that. But now we got this. That was a good point, and I'm keeping it. It's going to be in the timeline. Summer of 1960 something. Off the top of my head, I don't remember the specific year in the DCAU that it happened, but yeah, that sounds about right. Let's see. This event happens. This event happens. This event happens. Now we're getting into some Zeta Project stuff over there. December 2057. This event happens. Max Gibson refers to the winter solstice while remembering Kairi Tanaga. I don't think that she does. I think that's another thing that like James and I had a conversation about and could not find. I will put it on the timeline for now as perhaps being in winter, but I don't think that it is. Will these guys let me move them or not? There it goes. The WDB continuity should affect your main channel. What specifically do you mean by that? Because WDB is our main channel. So I'm not quite sure I understand. Oh no, I'm doing this. That's okay. I got them all. I got them all that time. Have you watched the new Animaniacs reboot? I haven't watched... Ooh, it's getting some feedback in my ears. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but I've watched like 6 or 7 of the episodes. Some of them are really good, and others are pretty forgettable. That's always the way with the more comedy short based cartoons. Is not every single joke's gonna be a home run. But I've been enjoying it. What bit I have seen, but it's just I don't feel like Animaniacs is a thing that I can sit there and binge like other stuff, because the way that it is set up to be a bunch of different shorts, it gives me more license to kind of start zoning out at some point. Hey, Jay's here. How you doing, bud? I've been meaning to get in touch with you. I'm pretty sure that I have a voice for you to do in an upcoming video for us. I mean, your channel, the one only you upload to. Oh, I mean, my channel's not so much a channel as it is just like I do dumb shit sometimes, and then I'm like, hey, this would be fun to upload. So it's not like there's anything going on over there. I've had like different ideas of things to do with that channel, but like haven't really committed to anything. So having the continuity affect that would be kind of weird. Max Gibson might say something about the winter solstice. I don't think that's the case, but I'm putting it in here just in case. Let you know the details when I work it out. How do you you're a fan of Batman Beyond, obviously. You did a whole DCAU retrospective. You're here right now. How did you feel about the Terrific Trio episode, Jay? Because I think we need someone to voice Magma for a thing. I'm dropping a lot of hints on some stuff right now, just because Jay's here in the chat. But that's all right. I'm very bad at keeping secrets. I could never be an actor just because I couldn't sign an. It's like I couldn't abide by an NDA. Like the Seth Rogen laugh in Arctic Dogs. Yes, that's exactly what's in that channel. I have been talking to my brother about starting a separate channel with just the two of us, where we kind of discuss things from our childhood, whether it be toys, games, movies, books, music, etc., etc., etc. And he seems really down to do that. So we might be talking to each other about some getting some scripts together and seeing if we can figure out a schedule to release and edit stuff. Because he's been trying to do some editing stuff. It's nowhere on the scale that Watchtower Database editing is, but I don't think everything has to be on that scale necessarily. So we'll see about whether that happens or not. Okay, yeah, you wouldn't have to do the you wouldn't have to do the exact voice, but we do need someone to do a Magma voice. So I'll message you on Discord after all of this, or you can message me so I don't forget, because I'm prone to do that. The future of the DCAU is basically locked behind a vault in the Watchtower Database. Something like that. Let's see. So we had Curse of the Cobra. Then we had This Event Happens. This Event Happens. Terry notes to Bruce Wayne in the Batcave. This is the third time this month that particular gang blah, blah, blah. So they have Return of the Joker placed a bit later than we do. So a lot of that is This Event Happens. This Event Happens. They really broke Return of the Joker down into like a very large thing. Is that the end of their Batman Beyond part? Okay, epilogue I guess is later on, so I can get another one of these blue and gold ones going. What is your stance on B-Tech being Oh man, so we're legitimately we all are kind of in different headspaces about that. I think James wants to write it off altogether. Ted, on the other hand, likes not necessarily the story itself, but a lot of the things that were done. Like just as like fleshing out some things in the universe, and he wants to take, what is it, the Grant Morrison approach, where it's just like all of these things happened, and you know, you just have to kind of figure out how. And like I'm kind of leaning towards that camp, but I'm also extremely frustrated because finding out how, in my head, it seems as though what happens is that the Lost Years is now expanded. The New Batman Adventures and Gotham Adventures is taking place for a decent chunk of time, except for anything with Timm has to be shot to the end of that. And then Superman the Animated Series starts later on. And the New Batman Adventures would then be, and Gotham Adventures would then be running concurrently with Justice League. And then B-Tech happens, like, towards the tail end of Justice League. I think, like, in my head, this is how it's working out. I don't, like I haven't actually put it all down on paper and everything. But, like, with us having Harley being part of, you know, the Suicide Squad by the time of Christmas, like I'm not even thinking about the pop culture references that like throw out everything we've been doing with the timeline. But if Harley's part of the Suicide Squad, which in this universe is Task Force X, then that means we have to be in Justice League Unlimited time by the time of this Christmas party. And like I feel like there's maybe a way to figure this out. But it would break a lot of the work that we've been doing. And I don't want to say that Justice League Unlimited takes place in 2008. And Superman, the animated series, was Supergirl showed up in 2003, you know. That just it just seems like it's stretching it thin. But there's also the possibility of just acting like Harley's whole I invited some folks from work situation. Like, we know that it's supposed to mean the Suicide Squad, but it can't mean the Suicide Squad. So maybe she's talking about she works with King Shark or something. But you know, it's gonna be a confusing mess. But I think that we might have a Will It canon coming up on it. We still don't know if the series is actually over, because it was supposed to be over after issue 6, and then issue 7 got announced, and then issue 7 was supposed to be the end, and then the holiday issue got announced. So we're still kind of sitting on the back burner over whether or not we should be starting the Will It canon stuff for it. But it's hard to try to figure out if it will or won't work, and so I have just not been trying to. Oh, there you go, Jay. There's a question for you down there. They're wondering if you're gonna do a JLV Fatal 5 review. Why is that's not the correct colors? Text color gold. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it created two child bubbles. Why did it do that? Let's get that one out of here. That one needs to go. All right, now let me choose the text and bubble colors. "15 years after Dana and Terry begin dating." Oh, hell yeah. You're going to do Static and Zeta? I don't know if James talked to you about some of the ideas that we have going on with our story. But now that I know that you got those DVDs, maybe it's about time for us to rope you back in on that. I mean, like, we can't do anything with the ideas until the whole pandemic thing clears up, but I've been talking for a while about trying to bring you on board for something, and James is just like, I don't know that he's gonna do those shows. Let's see. All right, so we got through everything on DCAU resources, at least the Batman Beyond end of things, I believe. There might be... I don't think there's anything further. Yeah, no, so that's basically the end. And then they go from that to the Legion of Superheroes. And I'm fine with adding the Legion of Superheroes stuff in, but there's something that they missed. There's something they missed... That I don't know. I don't know if you all have seen this. Let me see if I can find the playlist I got for it. Those are my subscriptions. Danny, if you're still here, I sent an email out to Melina earlier, Melina Pendulum, based off of your recommendation. So, I'm hoping she emails back. I checked out her Wonder Woman 1984 review, and I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't say how accurate it would have been to my experience with the movie. But I did like her commentary that she had, so I figured based off of that, yeah, let me give her an email and see if she wants to get in. Okay, so. We've got let's see, both Zeta and Static have Batman in it because they really love Batman. It's because Batman sells. Batman gets the clicks. So, Toonami Asia. I don't know. I feel like maybe some of y'all are a bit younger than me, so Toonami, like, in its prime, may be a bit before some of y'all's times. But, so, if you don't know, Toonami essentially was an action cartoon programming block on Cartoon Network. A lot of it was anime, and then they would throw superhero stuff in there. Every now and then, like, something a little bit more cartoony would pop in, like Hamtaro, which is, like, technically an anime, but not an action-y thing. Or we had, like, Powerpuff Girls was in there for a little while, which is definitely a bit more comedy-based, but does have action beats to it. But with Toonami, they had a lore going on in that programming block with end bumper, beginning bumpers, end bumpers, and like interstitials going into commercial breaks and everything. Where they started off, the host of Toonami was Moltar from Space Ghost. and he was he was doing the programming for the block from the Space Ghost Studios, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And over time, it ended up he was taken out and replaced with an entirely new CGI entity named Tom. Tom was this little round robot alien looking guy, and over time they would Tom and the ship's AI Sarah, if I'm remembering correctly, they would go on adventures in space. Tom ended up somehow getting his look changed a couple of times over time. They would tie it into the Cartoon Network website, and have and they would have Tom, and Sarah and everyone like having adventures on there. Sometimes it would come across in the form of flash games or web comics, just to flesh out stuff that they couldn't really do in the programming block, because of the fact that anything they do, like Tom and Sarah didn't have their own TV show. It's whatever they could fit into space where ads would normally be. And if you're running a TV channel, you're gonna want more ads than this weird stuff that's taking up space that doesn't necessarily need to be there. So they didn't really let them expand too much on the story in the programming block itself, and it had to go on elsewhere. However, in Asia, in the year 2013, when Toonami came back around in Asia, they didn't have Tom. They had Nami. And I don't know a lot about Nami. There are 4 different shorts. That Nami has canonically, and there was supposedly a webcomic at some point, but I haven't been able to track down the webcomic. Dude, Hamtaro fucked. Oh, like all rodents do. Toonami is definitely before my time, but I've heard about it from the Vanishing Point video about Batman Beyond Timeline. Okay, so yeah. I mean, I figured some of y'all would be familiar with Toonami. Let's see. Sissy still has Hamtaro plushie. Jay's review says you could unlock Tom as a gadget via cheat code in Sly 2. I didn't know about that. That's interesting. But yeah, like Toonami Tom, like he even did video game reviews and stuff like that as well sometimes. I'm getting a lot of feedback in my microphone. When I get the feedback like that, do y'all hear it on y'all's end, or is that just me? But anyway, Toonami Tom ended up... Oh, I just realized that I had background music playing the whole time, but didn't have desktop audio going. Whoopsie doopsie. But so in Asia, instead of having Tom, they had Nami. Wait, you did hear the background audio? Because it said my desktop audio wasn't going. So I'm very confused. I don't know. Anyway, so Asia had Nami, and this is 46 seconds. This is her origin story. Rob knows about this because I made a meme about it. About the new live action Ben 10. Hold on, let me pause that. Let me pull that up. It might be a little loud, so just be prepared if it's loud. I don't know where the volume's at. Oh, hold on. My I forgot that my... Oh my god. It tried to full screen and then stop, but I forgot that I have it in 144p as well. Oh my god. This is not the, This isn't the way that's supposed to be watched. Okay, let me rewind that. Let me Let me put this on that badass 480p. So y'all can at least see what's going on. There we go. That looks better.
In the year 2099, a dark force brings an end to the age of superheroes.
And we're on Earth 9.
It is now the year 2013. Together, we are the superheroes' last hope.
And so this character Nami essentially, on a separate Earth, time travels back in time to save the age of superheroes or whatever. But as you could see, DCAU versions of the superheroes are present in Earth 99 or in Earth 9's 2099. So I'm going to put these Nami shorts on the timeline, but indicate that they are Earth 9. What color should we be using for these? Do y'all think? Ooh, excuse me. I'm thinking... I don't know what I'm thinking. Rob says orange. Maybe an orange. I'm saving orange bubbles for the Zeta project. But I'm sure we can figure something out. Maybe orange text. Is Nami a background character that no one notices in some of the DCAU shows? No, I mean, she's just specifically in these Toonami Asia promos. But I'm counting them. They are mine. I know about them, and I have them. Let's do... Greg says red. Rob says yellow. What if we do like a darker red, more of a maroon, with like an orange text to it? Will that look... What is this called? Nami and the Age of Superheroes Origin. Oh, that's a... Yeah, why is everything... Okay. And then we got to get the... Let me put that on a separate line so I can cover it and turn it into a hyperlink to the video itself. Will it not? Okay, there it goes. Sweet, sweet, sweet. How's that look? The maroon and orange. I kind of like how that's looking actually. Occurs on Earth 9, but the DCAU heroes and villains are present. And there's a couple more of these. I wonder if they'll just autoplay. I think most of them take place in 2013, though, and I think that's the only one that really involves the DCAU heroes. So it might not be worth putting the other ones on the timeline, but we'll see if they do feature them. Then we'll see if we can slot them in. If any of y'all know anything about this about the webcomic that was supposed to be a part of this and have access to that, I would love to see it. I've tried looking around and I just haven't seen it anywhere. But yeah, okay. It looks like these are all just her.
Begin transfer protocol.
Is this when she time travels? Because if this is when she time travels, I might include it. Those two shorts might have both been $20.99. Okay, so that kid has some DC stuff in his room. He has Green Lantern. He's got Batman. Got Superman on the wall over there. Has what looks to be a DC encyclopedia opened up. Got Wonder Woman, had a Superman wastebasket. Okay, so it seems to be. I would say that those first two happened in 2099 as part of her time traveling back in time, and that third one was, you know, when she got there in 2013. So I'll put them in. Why not? Only the first one had the DCAU heroes, and it happens on a different Earth, but fuck it. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Control Shift V. There we go. Short one, and then oh yeah, I gotta put the clip. And then I gotta get that URL. DCAU is obviously far better than the so-called DCEU. I would agree. I don't think I would call it the so-called DCEU. I mean, that's what it's called. But yeah, I would agree that the DCAU is better. Though I will say that that could very much be just because you know, the DCAU's had much more time and many more entries, and it's easier to forget the duds and act like the only good parts of the DCAU are the parts that matter, right? Like, would you say that that Terrible Trio is a better piece of media than Batman vs Superman? Because I mean, I don't know what kind of metrics you would judge that on, but I don't know that I'd be comfortable with making that assessment. Mark says booty. All right. Toonami never has any good DC animated movies on. I haven't really paid much attention to Toonami ever since it came back. To be honest, let's copy that bubble. Let's paste that bubble, and then we can edit that bubble to be what we need it to be. But yeah, I haven't paid much attention to Toonami since it came back. So my my barometer for what's on it as far as good DC content is more or less what I'm thinking about when I was watching it at the time. Okay, there we go. Now it's got the second one in. And when I was watching it at the time, the DC content was good. So I don't know. The year 3000 would be a year after that Q Jonas Brothers. No, that's not how numbers work. The year 3000 is not the year after 2099. The year after 2099 is the year 2100. A couple days ago, I found the original Old Man Wayne design from Epilogue. I think I know what you're talking about. That design is actually what they wanted him to look like in Batman Beyond, and then decided against it. And then they ended up using it for Epilogue. All right, so there's our Nami stuff. She's there. It's happening. She's on the board. Let's see. And a lot of this stuff, all that's after Batman Beyond. I just did. I'll do that stuff at some point. All the Legion of Superheroes, the Booster Gold, all that stuff. I'll do that at some point. But I kind of want to keep on the Batman Beyond train if we're going to keep going a little while longer. What sounds more fun to you guys? Going through old Batman Beyond websites or going through my old notes on Batman Beyond comics, or just opening up and reading through some Batman Beyond source books? Because I can do any of the three, but I'll let the decision be in your hands. I've never let anyone have this much power because I've never had this much power to give. Let's see. I got 2 people on the notes, the comic notes. I gotta be real. I feel like that's gonna be the more boring one. But I'm down to, if that's what y'all want to do, I'm down to give it a look. Never read any of the Batman Beyond comics, so I'm kind of curious. Well, so we wouldn't be going through the comics themselves necessarily, because I've already got the notes, right? So we would just be going through the notes and be like, okay, well, what do I have here that helps place these things? Nothing. Okay, well then let's move on to the next one. Nothing here. Okay, well then now, like, you won't necessarily be getting the story of the comics with the notes. Greg says the website, or not the website, but websites. I gotta be honest. I might give it to Greg. I know that's anti-democratic since 2 of y'all said the notes, but that's kind of where I was leaning. And I think I should get to vote, right? Joe Biden got to vote for himself. Oh, it's also taking its sweet time loading the spreadsheet. I don't know that the spreadsheet's gonna work. I often need to load the spreadsheets before we even get into stream, just because it's so expansive by this point. So, god damn it, man. Well, someone else in chat could be the tiebreaker. Someone else could say, I would very much like to stay on this buffering spreadsheet rather than look at old 90s websites, but nobody's come in to do that yet. Yeah, like, I cannot move this, Sissy, you get out of my life! The spreadsheet really is taking its time. This might be... Justin says website, so now we're at 3 and 3. I can see... Hold on, let me click through to one of the Batman Beyond pages, because maybe there's less to load there. I don't know. It wasn't even letting me click through at first. That's pretty not poggers. You know what, Rob? Still don't even know what poggers means exactly. Okay. So the first 2 issues of... I'll tell you what. We'll look at my notes on the mini series, and then we'll hop onto some websites, because there are two tie-in series for Batman Beyond. There was a 6-issue mini series, and then there was like a 24-issue. There was a 24-issue like ongoing series after that. So we can look at the mini series first. Let me see if I can get the Google Drive going up as well. The first 2 issues of the miniseries were literally just a retelling of Rebirth. However, issue 1 does have additional material that happens even before the intro to Rebirth. So if we can try to place that, I would very much like to. Though I don't know. Like, I know Poggers is that guy. I just don't know. Why it's that guy or what necessarily it means. I just said I know it's that guy. Rob says don't what? What do you... Oh, don't worry. Be happy? A knout? What is a knout? What is a knout, Robert? Don't worry, a knout it. What is a knout? Once you explain that, then I will drop the Poggy Boys. Aren't Poggers are those aliens from Star Wars, right? From the sequels? I'm just trying to get somebody upset. I know that they're called porks. All right, here it is, the issue 1. I will, at the very least, I'll pull up that flashback, right? Just so I can I can be like, I don't know, guys. Just so y'all can see this additional stuff. Ugh. So it starts in the new Batman Adventures time, obviously, because Justice League and Justice League Unlimited hadn't happened, and so this is just what Batman looked like at the time. It's like, come on, Moose, run him down. Make Bat Burger out of him. Whack, crash. Geez, with that arm thingy the Bat's got, he's as strong as Superman. It's gotta have its limits. Well, I ain't sticking around to find out. The Bat I can handle, but a Super Bat? These weapons ain't worth it. Okay, you got us. We give no more. The cops. Better in their hands than Batman's hands, especially his right hand. You said it. Imagine if he ever makes a whole suit out of that stuff. We've been after these guys for months. So have I. Wish we could have stopped them sooner. At least this will keep these weapons off the street. Off the street? Look at this place! The new weapon was going to put me in front of the competition. You stopped them from stealing my inventory, but you let it get destroyed. In the process, insurance will never cover the real value. It's like you didn't even care. What have you got to say for yourself, Batman? I don't like guns. And then boom, 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 many years later. How many years later? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. What kind of clues do we have? We got that it's many years later. So it's been at least 2 years since that glovey hand incident. Though I don't think 2 is enough years to be many years. We've got Superman's active. So we're at least in 1999 or something, I guess. Commissioner Gordon was still alive, but we don't know when he dies. So I've got no clue where to place that. Why the hell did they pixelate the PogChamp emote? It doesn't look as good anymore. I don't know. Maddie's voices is precious. Well, thank you, Robert. Oh god, Maddie's Batman voice, I can do a better impression. I mean, I'm not trying to do good. I'm just trying to read and give everyone different voices just to differentiate them. But if you've got a good Batman impression, then go for it. Start up a voices.com profile and get you some jobs. Okay, so the first you know what? Let's put it. Should we put that flashback in here somewhere? I don't know where I would put it. Like, I want to have it on the timeline, but I don't know where it would go. I've got right in front of me, I have the animated series guide, and it says Bruce Wayne built the new Batsuit nearly 20 years ago. It was high-tech then and remains cutting edge in the year 2038. Just look at all the weapons packed inside. So, if he built the new Batsuit nearly 20 years ago, I would assume he would have had to build it more than 20 years ago, right? So maybe they're talking like 20 years before 2038 instead of 2039. So maybe he built it in like 2018 and just wasn't. But if he built it then, and that flashback was many years ago before he built it, like, I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. I don't know where to put it. So we'll just, let's see. We got a many years later, a 20 years later. That's the third hostile Wayne Powers takeover this year. Something about Monday morning. Okay, this was before I really did my notes in a way that made sense. Okay, so Batman Beyond number 3. What do we got? We got Blight mentioning the last time him and Terry tangled. So that would place Batman Beyond issue number 3 at least after Meltdown. But it doesn't look like anything else as far as time mentioned in the thing, in the issue would help place it anywhere. At the very least, we could say that Batman Beyond number 3 takes place sometime between Meltdown and what is it? Ascension, is it? So I guess I would need a bubble for Ascension, wouldn't I? Ascension being the last time we see Bane, not Bane, Blight. In the Batman Beyond cartoon, he does show up in the comics eventually. So Ascension would be, it says it would be before Earth Mover. Where is it? in regards to Disappearing Ink. So it would be right after Disappearing Ink. Okay. So after Disappearing Ink, but before Splicers. So yeah, so that episode would have, or that comic, I suppose, would occur at some point in 2040. But we don't have like a confirmed slot for it that's any more defined than between these two episodes that are like 7 episodes apart. Man, I got hella DCAU art in my Google Drive, so I feel you. So let me pop this over here. Let me put Ascension and make it kind of the size. I think before next stream I'll come back in and I'll plop in the rest of the title cards where they belong, more or less in production order. Just so I don't have to keep moving all of these things around to fit new stuff in. I mean, obviously, I'll have to move to fit comics in and stuff, but like, I'll have to move less stuff in, I suppose. Okay. So I'm gonna pull the notes up on these. And what is issue number 3 titled? Issue number 3, Never Mix, Never Worry. It's surprising how many of the Batman Beyond comics like actually still work. I think like some of the only stuff that went awry was that the show was very specific about Ink's timeline. About she showed up here, then here, then here, then here, and so some of the comics are kind of like, to make them work, you would have to move them to be after when they were intended to be. But like, you don't have to do that with almost any of the other comics, like in the Batman Beyond stuff. Whereas in like Batman Adventures, you have to like take them out of order and move them all around to make them work. Batman Beyond, though, the ones that do work are basically just like they're in the correct order already, and that's nice. And then I'll take an arrow from here to here. And then from here, back up to Ascension. I don't think this is going to be this comic's final resting place, because I want them to all be lined up with each other. But for the time being, this is the best we can do. Try to resize it so it doesn't look all wonky. There we go. So that'll go there for now. Uptime. What is... I don't get that. Let's see. So Batman Beyond number 4. This isn't the first time that someone like this has unwittingly opened blah blah blah. That's that was not necessarily a reference to Wake the Dead because Wake the Dead hadn't happened yet, but retroactively it seems that way. This isn't the Middle Ages; it's the 21st century. We've met long ago before Merlin. Okay, I think after I marked my notes for this, someone did bring up, and I never thought to put it back in. Terry is skeptical about the existence of magic. We see this play out in the show at one point, and his mind is changed just as it is here. So both instances of skepticism don't mesh. That was a Jason Blood there's a Jason Blood story, was that one. Okay, and then issue 5 was one where they went on a field trip to a museum. Do you know how long you've been streaming? We've been about 2 hours, 2.5 hours almost. Mattie, there is another Mattie behind you. No, there's not. Let's see. In issue number 5, he died under mysterious circumstances. That's talking about ancient past. Princess sarcophagus, which can be found in the East Rotunda, was unearthed over 100 years ago. Heard he's been in the hospital for 2 weeks. All these many centuries I try to find. So most of the mentions of time in that issue were around the ancient Egypt aspect. And then the last one is one of the ink ones, which I just said are kind of iffy about where they go. So that's all I can cover with my notes on the first one. So who's ready to explore some old Batman Beyond 90s websites? I actually have a couple of them. I made a whole bookmark bar of Batman Beyond sites. Let's see. I have the Hasbro Toys site, the Kids WB site from 2001. After they updated it, the Kids WB site from 2000, before it was updated. I've got the Return of the Joker website, the original Batman Beyond website, the website for Batman Beyond the movie, which was the Rebirth VHS release. And then I've got the YTV website from the Canadian programming. I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, and I'm gonna leave y'all with that, and I will be right back. I'm gonna put y'all on standby. Give me a sec. am back. Why was the Batman Superman website taken down? I would assume the same reason that any 90s website gets taken down. And just outrun its usefulness. You can still get on that website. Right? You could hold on. Let me show y'all something. So the way that I get onto all of the old websites that I do is that there's a specific website that lets you do it. It's called web.archive.org. Or that's the URL. It's called the Wayback Machine. But their whole thing is that they archive old websites and kind of keep a mirror of them up. And very often they'll have like captures from multiple different dates. So if you go to web.archive.org and type in batman-superman.com, this website was saved 946 times between December 3rd, 1998 and November 12th, 2020. So let's just go to 2001, right? And I'll click this February. 9 times out of 10, the saves will be almost identical to each other. But obviously websites have, updates over time. And some will look better, some will not, right? Some will have the images broken. Okay, there we go. So you can click the Batman one here. I'm pretty sure that the Superman one will... Nope, that's Batman the Animated Series. Okay, so it's New Batman Adventures on the left. Batman the Animated Series on the right. Is that one Superman? That one's Superman. And then I think down here at the bottom, yep, that's Batman Beyond. And you can click through and still visit any and all of those websites, so long as the pages are backed up on Web Archive. Because oftentimes there will be broken links that you'll just never know that what was on that page. But the main page is here, and I've almost I cannot remember running into a broken link specifically on this website. So it'll be you'll be able to go into it. Can I drop it in chat? Yeah, hold on. Let me I will copy that specific one. So you can just go straight to it. But that's how we access all of the old DCAU websites. Just web.archive.org. And Rob is back. Oh yeah, let me pull my phone back out my pocket so I can have chat open over here. Oh, it said I disconnected from chat. I guess it's trying to reconnect. Maybe I gotta refresh the Twitch app. There we go. Oh, I'm competing against actual Jake and Chapo Trap House and my good friend Kristen. That explains why there's only 11 people in here. It has nothing to do with the fact that we're more known for our YouTube content than Twitch content. But yeah, I will. Let me see. Let me pick a Batman website to get into off of my favorites bar. I think I may just do one of these websites today. Because what are we? We're running like 2.5 hours already. I might try to go to the 4-hour mark. But like that's not necessarily something that I have to do. It's just kind of what we did the first time. Let's do the Batman Beyond the Movie Rebirth VHS website. Let's let that one go. If it'll load. I feel like I say that more often than I've said anything else in my life. And let me get that toolbar out of there. Okay. Here we go. Batman Beyond. Win a video. Personnel. Bios. Create a villain. Batman/Superman site. Batman/Superman movie. Video clips. Buy the video. For decades, Batman reigned as Gotham City's crime-fighting Dark Knight. Almost 50 years into the future, the reign seems to be coming to an end. Is the Caped Crusader hanging up his wings? No way! As a whole new horde of outrageous outlaws is on the rampage, the unthinkable has happened. The aging Bruce Wayne has hung up the cape of the once invincible Batman. But when a brave young high school kid named Terry McGinnis stumbles onto the secret of Batman's true identity, a new alliance is forged, and an awesome new hero is born. That means trouble for Gotham's low-life losers and sinister business tycoon Derek Powers. Now armed with the dazzling array of advanced bat technology, Terry becomes the new Batman and explodes onto the futuristic Gotham City streets. Powered by the bond between legendary master and youthful crusader, Batman Beyond introduces a new hero for a new era. The legend lives on. So right off the bat, we got almost 50 years into the future. I think I've got that marked on, at least from another page on this website. But I don't know that I have that specific one because the language is different. The official website for Batman Beyond the movie suggests it takes place nearly 50 years in the future. Okay, so nearly 50 years, almost 50 years. It's all the same, and it's coming from the same source, same website. So I'm not getting the I'm not gonna get every single specific version of that, and that's fine. Then let's see down here, video contest. That's the win a video. Personnel. That's okay. So it looks like the same stuff that's up top. So the personnel is really where we're gonna want to go on here, in case they've got any new information. I am still live. Yes. I see that you're trying to message me, and I didn't know if there were any messages. So I found out that my desktop audio was off, James. After I pulled up the background music, and then we watched some other videos, and I forgot to put it back up. And now that you're back here, you're reminding me to put more background music up. And now that the desktop audio is going, maybe it should be hearable. It's not important until later. Yeah. Well, I don't know how long you stayed in the chat last time, but essentially the reason it wasn't up is just because sometimes we do pull up videos, and I didn't want to like have to switch back and forth with how my computer is an asshole. It's being an asshole just loading the page right now. Skip ads. I don't want the Disney Plus ads. I'm not even going to worry about it. We're 2.5 hours in. I'm not going to worry about it. We're reading bios off of the Batman Beyond the movie website. Not Batman Beyond the Return of the Joker website, but Batman Beyond the movie. So here we've got the bio for Terry McGinnis / Batman. Terry McGinnis is a good-looking 17-year-old high school senior with an edgy, rebellious nature. A latchkey kid for much of his youth, Terry developed a sense of independence that often put him at odds with the world long before he became Batman. Terry hasn't come to terms with the death of his father, who was killed by some thugs. When he saw the opportunity to become Batman and avenge his father's death, Terry grabbed it, despite Bruce's initial objections. Prior to the tragedy, Terry lived with his dad because he was too much for his mom to handle. Now that he's moved back home with his mom and younger brother, he knows he has to behave. In order to facilitate being Batman, as well as bring in some extra money for his family, Terry works for Bruce Wayne, and the pair share an uneasy mentor/protege relationship. As Batman, or the Tomorrow Night, as the citizens of Gotham have donned him, Terry is fearless, and he detests guns. He absolutely never uses them. Although he respects Bruce and looks to his years of experience for guidance, Terry has a tendency to defy his bounds and overstep Bruce's instructions. Quite often, Terry learns the hard way that he should listen to his mentor. And then they've got some stuff on Will Friedle. Well, there you go, James. Now you've got this big bio. But all this down here is just on Will Friedle. So you just got the top 3 paragraphs. I don't know if that changes the Vanishing Point wouldn't even exist without Batman and Harley Quinn. I mean, it still probably would have happened, but that intro would not necessarily be. So off of this, I guess it's worth noting that they were saying he was a 17-year-old in Rebirth. I don't necessarily need all of that. Let me just get... And it says he was a senior, which would suggest that all of Batman Beyond took place in 1 year. So that's fascinating. Hey, it's the Tomorrow Night. We call him that because we live in the future and are conscious of that. I gotta say that's probably... Hey, Vixario has followed. Thank you for joining us. Maybe in context, what they're trying to say is that I don't know, that he is the second Batman. So regular Batman would just be known as the Yesterday Knight. Terry is a 17-year-old high school senior. And let me copy that so I can paste it into the bubble we're going to give it. I wonder what Bruce Timm thought about his face being in the Vanishing Point intro for 2 years. Probably not much. I would be surprised if Bruce even saw any of our stuff. I do gotta ask. Just because just because you're being very insistent on this right now, and we've had other people mention as well. What is it specifically about Vanishing Point that you're not getting out of other videos that I host? Because like I understand that conceptually it was more about like trying to test theories and timeline stuff, but like I feel like I've done some of that in videos since then. So I'm just not 100% sure I see why Vanishing Point itself is the special thing and not necessarily just me hosting a video being the special thing. Is it the theme song? Because if it's just the theme song, you could go back and listen to the theme song. It did have its own imagery. That's true. That's fair. I mean, I do like. I would definitely want to do more stuff in that style. It's just always been a very hard thing to keep up with. Like even now when I'm only doing one video a month, it gets ridiculously hard to like try and make things in a way that I specifically am happy with, I guess. Right? Like the video that we've got coming out tomorrow is 40 minutes long, and like it took so much research and then trying to figure out how to make it like how to write it in a way that keeps the attention. I feel like it's doing that is just a very big task. And so with Vanishing Point, the downside of it is that you don't necessarily like have a topic that you want to talk about, right? It's pretty much like, hey, here's a character that I want to talk about. Is there any timeline stuff that happens in any of their appearances? No? Okay, well, I gotta scrap all that. What about this character? No? Okay, how about that one over there? And by the time that I go through like all of those cartoon episodes, all of those comic appearances and everything, all of a sudden we're like, James needs to have the footage in 2 days. And it was very taxing to try to do that consistently on a bi-weekly basis. I would like to at least bring back the imagery and branding and everything at some point somehow, but I don't want to do it in a way that it's just something that I have to consistently be doing, on a scheduled basis, if that makes sense. Let's see, what was Batman Beyond the movie website? Rebirth VHS. Let me put that in there. States Terry was a high school senior. Implies this is the case during Rebirth. Okay, and then let me grab that link. Let me link that into the note. I can't really describe, but the Vanishing Point videos were the first videos I'd seen on the channel other than the Batsuit conundrum. That's fair. That's fair. I like from the I've gotta guess from the outside looking in, like this year will be what, 4 years since the first Vanishing Point, and since we're talking about superheroes and stuff on the channel, like I imagine that a lot of our channel, especially if you've been following us, since for a while. That you might have been, a teenager when you started watching us, and now you're like a young adult or something, and so it might have like a nostalgic feel or something like that, and that's something that's very weird to like think about from my perspective, where when I started Vanishing Point, I was a 25-year-old who just moved to Seattle. And these guys who I met on the internet wanted me to make an internet show for their YouTube channel, and I knew nothing about it, and I was just absolutely miserable. I had just left all of my friends. I was dealing with really bad alcohol problems and stuff, and so like just in my head, like I always loved the feedback from Vanishing Point and everything, but like, it happened in a weird stretch of my life, so it's weird kind of like getting the outside looking in thing, where like people are just like, no, this is a thing that means something to me, and despite the negative emotions that you might have, not necessarily with the specific piece of media, but just the negative space that you were existing in during that time, like the just the fact that there's such a difference in feeling about those that specific time in my life and in y'all's life. It's just an interesting concept to me, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm a little rambly because I'm not sure where I'm trying to go, but I think I said what I was trying to say. Is there a certain screw up in the DCAU continuity that hurts your head the most? I heard that the Joker has HBO Max now. So that one's a pain in the ass. Vanishing Point had consistent theme to it, making it more like a show than an average video. It's why Willett Cannon has a following. Oh, for sure. But I feel like one day Willett Cannon will live out its usefulness as well. Once we've kind of covered all of everything. Maybe it won't. Capstone keeps making those books. But yeah, I get what you're saying. All right, so we got Terry's bio. Bruce's bio. The years have taken their toll on the former Batman, who's now in his 70s. Bruce Wayne may have slowed down, but one can still see the fire behind his eyes, and that he is a man to be reckoned with. Before meeting Terry McGinnis, Bruce had stopped living life. But Terry's energy and passion for his cause have stirred up emotions in Bruce, enabling him to re-enter the crime-fighting world he had forgotten. And now Bruce needs Terry. When Batman is guarding the city, Bruce stays at the Bat computer and serves as his advisor. He can quickly feed Batman information over the radio link to the new high-tech Bat suit. Bruce also knows Gotham City better than anyone, and this information often proves invaluable to Terry. Most importantly, Bruce has faced the dark side of humanity for years and can guide Terry through the many mazes of he's facing for the first time. If and when Terry will listen. And then we have a little Kevin Conroy bio under that. So Bruce Wayne is in his 70s. So that's something I can take. Bruce Wayne in his 70s. And then I will just copy the stuff from this bubble and edit it to what I need. But all the way over here. I love the DCAU timeline. It's fun to try and solve. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Like it feels like a big puzzle to me, and it's fun to try to figure out where all the pieces go. States Bruce is in his 70s. Can we expect a Superman the Animated Series timeline video anytime soon? So the thing with timeline videos is that that all of our timeline videos are tied up in the channel lore, and we were not able to predict that a global pandemic was going to happen. So unfortunately, timeline and Willett Cannon videos have all been on the back burner. We have we have scripts for the next couple of them ready, but we're just waiting until it's safe for us to get together and film. Which, with the vaccine being announced, hopefully will be within the next couple months. But there's honestly no telling until we get there. But we have, I'm trying to think. I think we have a Willett Cannon coming up soon, regardless of COVID or not, because this will be one that we don't have to be in the same room for, that we figured out a way to work into our storyline. from where we left off with Willet Cannon. And then we have, let's see. I don't want to give away all of the spoilers. We have 2 videos in the storyline that aren't Willet Cannons or timelines. They're kind of more so theory videos, so you'll be getting maybe a Vanishing Point feel without it being Vanishing Point. I will be the main narrator for one. James will be the main narrator for another. Then we're gonna go from those into a Willet Cannon video, and after that, I can't give it away. But it's gonna get kind of fucking batshit for a month. However many videos we shove into that month, whether it just be the normal 4 or if we decide to just kind of go ape shit on that. But we don't specifically know where we're gonna go from there. So it's possible that a Superman timeline could come soon after that, or maybe not. I think we're talking about once we get to the end of where we are with the story, just doing timeline and Willet Cannon videos without story elements for a while until we kind of figure out what we want to do. We had a couple of different ideas. One of them did involve Superman. I think one involved Green Lantern, the animated series. But we just haven't solidified anything yet. I think we were gonna do a situation where because I have time travel powers, I create a flashpoint, do a flashpoint explainer video, and from that, like I end up in a world where Superman's not relevant, and then I do some Superman videos as part of the lore thing, but I don't remember specifically what the ideas were, so I don't know if those are set in stone or not. Let's see. Our next bio is Derek Powers, a man of beastly tactics. Derek Powers stands over 6 feet tall and has a commanding presence with cool eyes, a slippery voice, and stark white hair that can catch even the most cautious of business associates off guard. Not surprisingly, Powers holds a secret about his appearance. After an unfriendly encounter with the Tomorrow Night, Powers was exposed to a mutagenic nerve gas. Who would have guessed? The gas, in combination with the radiation that he later received to heal his scars, has left him transformed into a walking toxic hazard. Beneath the layer of artificial skin that hides his true face from the world and contains his toxicity, Powers' body is luminescent, glowing like phosphorus. Powers' manufactured skin must be replenished every 24 hours or it deteriorates and falls away. At least once a night, Powers' doctors place him in a mold that vacuum packs a new layer of skin over his radiating body. Powers and his doctors are constantly searching to find a cure for his condition and work tirelessly towards this goal. Powers' other goal is to do anything to kill the man he blames for his condition. Batman, the Tomorrow Night. Well, I just realized something, and I'm going to share it with James and Ted. Hey, so I'm reading the bios on this Batman Beyond website, and they're talking about how Derek Powers, he's got the radiation thing going on, right? The doctors have to replenish his skin every 24 hours, which holds in the radiation, yada, yada, yada. They're trying to figure out a way to they're constantly searching to find a cure for his condition and work tirelessly towards this goal. But I've just realized the big problem is that Captain Atom exists like 40 years before Blight does. So they've had that technology to pack in radiation and keep it all fine and good for like 40 years. So why does Blight happen? They've got to deal with that now, because I do not know. I mean, obviously, like, I feel like the answer might be, oh, it's a different kind of radiation, but like that seems like a cop out. Honestly, excited for March. It's my birthday. Hell yeah. I'm a June birthday boy. January is Justin's birthday. Well, we'll party when those months come around. Robert's in February. Jeez, y'all got them early year birthdays. So nothing really from Derek's thing that we can use for the timeline, but that's fine. Here we got Dana. Are they going to give us her age at least? Dana Tan is an intelligent, cute, and hip Asian American teen with an in-your-face attitude. She's confident, independent, and not influenced by outside opinions from anyone. Not interested in any of the teenage boys at school. She finds them too immature. Except Terry. Dana is intrigued by a certain danger he possesses. The two sometimes date, and while neither considers it an exclusive relationship, Dana can't help but be bothered by Terry's frequent mysterious disappearances. She wishes Terry would open up and confide in her more. Okay, hold on. So, like, the only time in Batman Beyond we get Dana, like, not being exclusive is when she gets kidnapped by Rat Boy. Right? Like that's not something that's established on screen. Like, are they trying to give Terry leeway and say that he's not cheating when he hooks up with Tim? Because he's cheating. Like, Dana deserves better. Neither James nor Ted have answered my question yet. So nothing much there. Just, she's a teenager. So, like, anywhere from 13 to 19 years ago, Dana was born. Which puts us in between, 2020 to 2026? That's not enough to really pin anything down. I'm not gonna sweat it. Where did the "Where's Nightwing" meme come from? That's a good question, because we kind of just did it without ever explaining it. At least not explaining it like in a video where, like, it would have made sense that this is a thing, and now we're just using the meme. So whenever we, like, when Watchtower Database was in its early stages, James knew this guy from another like animation forum or something like that, and he would consistently bug James with just like small questions that like don't really matter, and then all of a sudden somehow when James is just like, hey, like I'm kind of busy right now, I can't really respond, yada yada, it would end up devolving into this weird thing where like the dude would go off on him about being a liberal and politics stuff, and James is just like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, you were just trying to message me about Batman, and now you're acting as if I've slighted you in some way for your politics, and that didn't happen. And one of the things that he asked him this one time is where Nightwing was during a specific episode of the new Batman Adventures, and James is like, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Like, he's not on screen and they don't mention it, so why would I know? Why would it matter? Like, what is... And we just ended up thinking that was pretty fucking funny, and just pulled it into our content without explaining it. But that guy was a nutball. As recently as, like, I blocked him on so many different social media websites, and I guess I didn't block him on Instagram because I didn't know he had an Instagram or something. And I had gone down to Florida towards the end of 2019 because my grandma was passing, and while I was there, my youngest brother is a huge BoJack Horseman fan, and so he had the shirt where it's it's a balloon that Mr. Peanut Butter got that says it's a boy, but then like it crosses out the Y and changes it to it's aborted, because it was from that abortion episode that they did. And so I took a picture wearing my brother's shirt and put it on Instagram, and dude comes up out of nowhere yelling at me over how vile and evil and disgusting I am for wearing that shirt. And I'm just like, this was like when he finally left that comment was even months after that had happened. So he was lurking my my Instagram like as late as early 2020. And I was just like, all right, this isn't cool at all. This guy's kind of creepy. Just wasn't like just a very, very strange dude. Terry gets away with cheating and being Batman from Dana. I mean, they were talking about marriage on Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, I mean, Terry and Dana were talking about getting married in Unlimited, but they got he was still a cheater during the what are you talking about? Are you asking what I was talking about? Because I thought I was kind of clear about what I was talking about. I was talking about where's Nightwing came from and the guy behind it being strange. Unless you're asking what Samleville is talking about, in which case I suppose they would be the one to answer. But I assume they were continuing the conversation about Terry being a cheater. What do you think is the best love interest for Bruce Wayne at the end of the day? It's Phantasm, baby! It's Andrea Beaumont. It's always gonna be Andrea Beaumont. They deserve to be married. Nelson Nash! Nelson is a smooth operator and goes to the same high school as Terry. He has a lot of power around school as he's well-to-do, well-connected, and always surrounded by an entourage of wannabe friends, usually jocks. Nelson is bigger than Terry and pushed him around once. He never made that mistake again. I love that I love how fucking like cloudy the high definition images are that they're using to try to promote this VHS tape. Mary McGinnis! A single mother in her 30s, Mary is busy holding a job and raising two sons, often leaving her a little harried and understandably scattered. At first, she had apprehensions about Terry moving back in with her, but now she's relieved because he's been nothing but a help. Mary's pleased that Terry is working for the famous Bruce Wayne. She's grateful for the extra money he earns, which is badly needed, and is confident that an upstanding man like Bruce Wayne will teach Terry to stay out of trouble. Little does she realize that those late nights Terry spends helping Mr. Wayne are far more dangerous than any trouble Terry would have gotten into by himself. So I know I just said that saying Dana is a teenager isn't enough to really put anything on the timeline, but Mary, a single mother in her 30s, I feel like is. I know that still gives you like a decade to work with. But I don't care. I'm gonna put it in there. I feel like Dana will probably have like a specific age given at some point, but I don't think Mary will. So if she's in her 30s, she's born anywhere from 2000 to 2009. So I will move these bad boys here. What if the near apocalypse of 2009 was just Mary McGinnis being born? I've got to feel like she's late 30s, right? Because if Terry's 17, you know, she wasn't born. She wouldn't be just 30 years old and then have had a kid at 13. We've seen she's an adult when Terry's born, right? So she's got to be on the late end. She's got to be on the late end of her 30s. I'm trying to think. I would say. I'd say let's say she's like 35 to 39 years old, right? Because if she was 35, she would have been 18 when Terry was born, and that's probably still a bit younger than what you call it, than what she looks like in epilogue. So I'm comfortable with like saying she was at least 18 to 22 years old, but even then, 18 seems a little on the low side. We gotta make this one a white bubble. Oh, that's the text color. Black text color, bubble white. And we'll say sometime between 2000 to 2004. Let's see. Imagine if Terry hooked up with whoever that girl was that he was supposed to be raising the egg baby with. Oh no. I don't want to imagine that. Mary McGinnis is born. If you had the opportunity to write an official DCAU story, what would it be about and when would it take place? So I kind of answered this question earlier, though it was it was kind of brought into if I could make any DC animated movie. So hold on, give me a second. Let me put this note in, and then I will answer that again. Let me see. Do I still have the Return of the? Oh nope, I have that. Well, that is. Let's undo that because that wasn't the full screenshot anyway. And then let me copy that text over. So if I could pitch a DCAU movie, it would be set during the Batman Beyond times, but maybe a little bit earlier than Batman Beyond. And I would want to do Warhawk and Cairo buddy cop movie. A lot of it would be driven around not Bruce. A lot of it would be driven around the drama of John's ring picking Cairo, a child, over Warhawk, who is a warrior and the son of John Stewart. There would be drama in it about Cairo being brought into the Justice League, right? Because Bruce would obviously show up and be like, "Hey, like you guys remember what happened to Tim, right? Like what the fuck are y'all doing?" And I would even I feel like bring in some stuff that that was kind of brought into canon after the fact, right? Like have both Virgil and Miss Martian show up and be like, well, we were allowed in the league when we were kids and we're fine, kind of situation. But the majority of the action I feel like would be a space adventure, them two kind of going around the galaxy, and and we were kind of workshopping some of this earlier. If you wanted to bring in the Curare and Cairo are related stuff from the Justice League Beyond 2.0 comics, you could do that as well. Because the way that I'm thinking about it, like, you know, we've known that aliens exist for like 40 years in this universe by that point, so there's no reason that like villains wouldn't take advantage of that. And so not only is she the best assassin on Earth, but she could be, you know, hightailing it with a bunch of assassins across the galaxies. You could even bring in a lot of older DC villains, not necessarily villains, but just characters that way, right? Like because you could be like, well, you know, these people are all aliens, and so they still exist. Lobo could show up and help track down Curare or something. There's a lot of stuff you can do with that premise, but the main drama would be around you know, the family angle, how Bruce is feeling with the Bat family, how Warhawk is feeling about his family, how Cairo is feeling about his family. You know, just a lot of fun stuff you can do with that, I feel like. Time doesn't exist. Batman is always in his mid to late 30s. I will murder you, Greg. Did the Blu-ray of Batman Beyond sell well? I really want Batman Beyond season 4. Man, I don't know, but I doubt they'll make season 4. She can't have children in that freaking deep sea diver outfit. Who can't have children? I must have forgotten part of the conversation because I'm not sure. I really want to see WB make Justice League Beyond. I feel like it could be possible. Yeah, Justice League Beyond, like, you have a whole world to mess with, and they're just being like, Batman Beyond's the only one that matters because it's Batman. But like, there should be a whole world outside of just Batman's presence in the future, especially since we know other characters are around as heroes. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, so whenever Bruce Timm says, I don't know, maybe if it sells well, like, he says that all the time, and essentially just what it is, you know, if WB sees something sell well enough, they're gonna say, hey, Bruce, I know you want to do the thing that you want to do, but this thing is making us a lot of money, and you should do that instead. I personally would prefer that Bruce Timm just keeps doing the thing that Bruce Timm wants to do. And I know that might be a weird thing to say, because like that gave us you know, Batman and Harley Quinn. So what Bruce Timm wants to do isn't necessarily always the best thing. But I just feel like, I don't know, I would rather be getting like a Soul of the Dragon than a Batman Beyond season that's only being produced because money was made off of DVDs. All right, last bio on this one. Matt McGinnis. Matt is Terry's 8-year-old brother, precocious, energetic, and adventuresome. Matt loves nothing more than seeing Terry get into trouble. In fact, if there's anything he can do to foster this, such as squealing on Terry, you can count on Matt. But these days, Matt has other interests as well. His new hero, Batman. Matt's crazy about the mysterious crime fighter, and he even fantasizes about fighting villains at his hero's side. Ironically, Matt has no idea that the man he so admires and the brother he lives to pester are one and the same. All right, so we just got Matt is an 8-year-old. So we can pin his birthday to like 2031. Matt is Terry's 8-year-old brother. if Justice League Beyond happens, we could probably see more of Warhawk and Hawkgirl and Green Lantern in it for a cameo or something. I mean, I do like, yeah, but I like the idea that you know, if Cairo has John's ring, then that would imply that John is dead and gone by that point. I've always seen John being a bit older than Bruce, because we know John was like in the military and got the ring like in the late 80s, in the mid to late 80s. So he's been active as a superhero before Bruce ever was. So him being dead and gone by the time of Beyond makes a lot of sense to me. Shiera could obviously stay, especially since she's she's an alien, you know, and as an alien, who's to say how long her lifespan is? I know that the Thanagarians age, right? Because there was a couple of older ones, I think, in Starcrossed, if I remember correctly, kind of grayed hair and everything. But like, who's to say how old they were? There goes that feedback in my headphone again. Stop zooming out. Stop it. Let me see if I can move these a little closer over here so that I can fit in this Matt McGinnis thing without having to move too much. The opening of Justice League vs. Fatal 5 felt like Batman and Harley Quinn with Starboy being naked in the drugstore. I disagree. It felt like so many time travel movies have done the there's a naked guy situation, right? I'm pretty sure like Terminator did it. So it didn't feel like that to me at all. It just felt like this is a time travel movie thing. But, you know, different people are going to read the same thing in different ways. So if that's the way you see it, then that's just the way you see it. I don't know why they would make him Robin in the comic books. He sucks as Robin. Are you talking about Matt? I fell off reading comics over the past year since my comic shop ended up shutting down after COVID started popping off. So I didn't really get too much of the Matt as Robin stuff. I did get a little bit of it, but not an insane amount. Because that's not how time do. That's the simple answer. If you're Batman in 1992 and you're 30, and you're Batman in 2004, you would be 42. That's how time move. I understand that they write him with that personality or whatever, but it doesn't work that way. Batman's career trajectory is longer than 10 years. It spans over a decade. And it's part of, like, it's the same thing as the sliding timeline situation. How Bruce says Batman Beyond is always 50 years in the future. You know, stuff just to make the puzzle work. Those quotes don't specifically ring true. Why is it trying to move? It's trying to move these too far away. I'm trying to tell it to go to a very specific spot, and it's just like all the way over here. Okay. If I move very slowly. There we go. Drop them there. Drop them. Drop them. Now deselect. Oh my god, did that move it too far back over? I can squeeze it into that spot. Batman obviously isn't in his mid to late 30s because Batman Beyond happened. Batman is the best superhero. He's a pretty good one. I'll give him that much. There are a lot of superheroes, though, so saying he's the best. Green Arrow is also a pretty good superhero. I've meant to read more Green Arrow, because I'm really interested in his lefty politics. Though, as I've gotten older and come to figure out the difference, the legitimate differences between like liberalism and socialism and communism, this, that, and the other, I've got to imagine that maybe Green Arrow won't be the leftist superhero that he's been cooked up to be to me over the years. Matt McGinnis is born, but who knows? Maybe I could be pleasantly surprised. And then that's 2031, and then we'll put the we'll put that screenshot in there, and then I'll add the text to that later. Matt is Terry's 8-year-old brother. Yeah, I'll just add the text to that later, just because I'm getting annoyed with how slowly the timeline thing is moving. Okay, so we've looked at the personnel. Let's check out the other pages on this website in case there is anything else worthwhile. Justice League, more like Batman the Extended Cut. No, you, Rob. You don't know why we have so many Batman movies. We should be focusing on making Green Arrow movies. It's just... I would be... Oh. Well, is that the video contest? Because it looks like the video contest is broken. What about Create a Villain? So these... Oh, the Create a Villain contest is over. Well, damn. I can't believe that contest isn't still open here and now in the year 2021, the year of our Lord. And it only has the one capture of just it's over. I'm kind of curious. Like, I want to look into that. I hate Matt McGinnis, that little twip. Who doesn't hate Matt McGinnis? We're all going to murder him. An aging Bruce Wayne hangs up his mask. Terry McGinnis meets Bruce Wayne for the first time. Terry borrows the Batsuit to spy on Derek Powers. I watched James Green Lantern video again. We should have got a future Catwoman, got the Joker gang, Mr. Freeze, but we never got Catwoman, which is a shame. Did you see the video we did? There was going to be a sequel to Return of the Joker that was going to be focused on Catwoman, and the twist from Epilogue was going to be revealed in that movie. That Terry was biologically related to not to Catwoman, but to Batman. Let's see, and then that's Batman Superman site and Batman Superman movie. So I guess that's everything from this specific website. Let's hit another one real quick. Maybe a small one. We're getting close to the 4-hour mark. I'm starting to want to wind down a little bit. So let me see if I can find one that's not going to have a lot to put onto the... Let's go to the Hasbro website. I doubt the Hasbro website will have anything really that needs to go onto the timeline. But it's worth checking out anyway, just in case. see. Matt McGinnis is my spirit animal. I mean, more power to you, Rob. Are you Star Wars guy? By Star Wars guy, do you mean do I like Star Wars, or are you asking if I am Star Wars guy from the early 2000s viral video Star Wars guy? Because I am not him, but I'm also not very big into Star Wars. I used to be when I was a child. I was really into Star Wars when the prequels were coming out. I was very big into specifically the Clone Wars area of the timeline, mainly because clones and wars are really cool, especially if you're like 12 years old. And so putting those two things together, hell fucking yeah. But like I read so many tie-in novels, the Young Boba Fett series. I had like all of the fucking Star Wars tactics and stuff like that were the tabletop game that they had with Star Wars figures and stuff. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that, but I was big into Star Wars then, and then whenever I tried to get around to the original movies, finally, like when I was deemed old enough to see them, it just, the magic wasn't there for me. Because of how much like that was spoiled over the years. It was like yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Okay, yeah, like I'd seen all the scenes, just not in the order that they were in the movies, or I had seen spoofs and parodies of them. So it was just like, yeah, I get the point. But recently, whenever Rise of Skywalker came out, Sissy and I were marathoning through the Star Wars stuff because we were just like, okay, like this is the last one, so let's give it a go. So we watched all of the movies. I think we enjoyed 3, right? That's what Revenge of the Sith, I think, is what that one is called. And the original series was all right. Like it was like it's not as bad as 1 and 2, that's for sure, but like it once again it didn't do much for me. I think I enjoyed which one was it? Was it Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back that I liked more? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I listed them out in like a tier whenever I was watching them. So that's available on Twitter somewhere. And with the Disney stuff, Rogue One took me a second to come around to, but once we got to the end, I was just like, whoa, that was a lot. But it felt like a lot of the movie dragged to get to that really good place. So maybe I need to give that one another go. I liked Solo. I had a lot of fun with that. I understand. I understand the complaints with it. But since I don't have the nostalgia for the original Star Wars that other people do, like a lot of that stuff didn't bother me specifically. I don't remember anything about The Force Awakens, if I'm being honest. Last Jedi was my favorite out of all of them. And Rise of Skywalker made me wish that I didn't even do the marathon at all. Because goddamn, that was a fucking disappointment of a movie. Is Terry even related to his mom still, or what? Yeah, I mean, like, so Terry would have been birthed by his mother. It's just that his father's DNA was rewritten to be Bruce Wayne DNA or whatever. So he's still related to his mom. He's still technically related to his dad. He's got 2 dads. I have actually not watched Star Trek. If the magic's not there, you got to rekindle that magic. You gotta watch Mandalorian, good series. I've watched the first season. And I really do want to watch the second season, but my sister canceled her Disney Plus subscription, so I don't have access to that anymore right now. But whenever I do get around to it, I would like to rewatch season 1 before going into season 2, because if I'm being honest, I don't remember too much about it. It's the binge watching problem. Where you watch it all at once and then you have a year to like be like, huh, what happened? And I know that it came out week by week, but I'm pretty sure I binged it at the end of it. I actually do not remember. Maybe I just have bad memory. What if I end up with Alzheimer's? And I'm not saying that jokingly, but like, because that's a terrible thing to deal with. But like, man, just the amount of things I forget, like it has me wondering sometimes. Man of Culture. Are you saying it's Man of Culture because I enjoyed Last Jedi? That movie was so fucking good. Like I cannot for the life of me understand why people were so upset with it. Okay, so the Hasbro Batman Beyond, I think, is just gonna be pictures of their toys. So no timeline stuff, I don't think. There's the Future Knight Batman with glider wings and electro swords. Covert Batman with shield, cape, and grappling launcher. What about this outfit is covert? This is the loudest covert fucking outfit I've ever seen in my life. Like, he could be hiding in snow, but that snow would have to be on fire so that the orange wings aren't an issue. The toys from the 90s of the DCAU. So the Batman Beyond toys are the worst offenders, I feel like, because a lot of these don't even look like they're supposed to be on model with the show. They kind of were just like, let's do our own thing. Lightning Storm Batman with force field wings and spark weapons. It's a broken image. And that's the downside of these archives, is that sometimes stuff just doesn't load in. But most of the times it will on specific sites. But sometimes you'll just never know. Aqua Racer Batman with submarine attack skiff. I don't remember him using that in the show. Hydro Force Batman. There was a Blight action figure? Hydro Force Batman. Dude, the future looks a lot like the 90s. A Blight with radiation blaster and plasma missile. I don't know that ever actually got made. Because I remember the DCAU review guys were talking about the only Blight action figure was the one from the Burger King. Let's see if that got made. What is even the point of the action figure variants that don't match the show or movie? To sell things to kids. That's it. That's just to get kids to buy the same. Oh, they did make that. But that's just to get kids to buy the same character over and over and over again. Oh, he's like yellow instead of green. I don't like that. In the dawn of the new millennium, Bruce Wayne has retired from crime fighting. A different breed of villains now terrorizes the streets of Gotham City, cries out for a new hero. Terry McGinnis discovers Batcave, Batman Beyond. Yeah, got it. Okay, so the Blight thing did happen. What is a power armor Batman? Just Googled it and Lightning Storm Batman was metal. You know what? Yeah, since that one didn't pull in, let's look for it. Lightning Storm Batman. I gotta go to Google though. I'm on Microsoft Edge and it uses Bing as its I really only like the regular version of the figures. Oh yeah, I mean that's I'm sure that's how most adults you know, or you know, even teenagers maybe view the action figures. But when you're a kid and you got that imagination running, I'm sure it's got to be real interesting to be like, whoa, oh geez, he has lightning wings? That's kind of nuts. Dude, the Burger King toys for Batman Beyond are fantastic. I came across, there was a guy on eBay who was selling production art that he found in a storage shed of Burger King toys. And he had so much art for Burger King Batman Beyond toys that didn't get made. And I really wanted them, but Jesus fucking Christ, man, was it. That Power Armor Batman actually kind of looks cool. Energy Strike Batman looks kind of like Lightning Storm Batman, but with a color swap. But yeah, he had so much production art for Batman Beyond toys that just never got made for Burger King. And that was really interesting to see. I wanted to buy them, but like he wanted $100 a piece for the art, and I was just like, I'll save copies of the images you put up, you know, and just not spend $100 on those because I am poor. Hang Batman with this is Hang Batman with shield, cape, and retriever missile. James gets on to me all the time for dumb grammar and spelling errors on social media posts and stuff. But at least I'm not Hasbro.com Hang Batman with shield, cape, and retriever missile. Neon camo Batman. Lightning weed. Hell yeah. Whenever they do a Bruce Wayne to Batman figure, they never have the right colors for the bat suit. That's true. What the fuck is this? They put a fucking rocket blaster on Ace's. That's not even Ace. That is Combat Ready K9. Batman and his trusted friend, Combat Ready K9. I'm gonna have to have that one open in another tab to send to James and Ted later, because Jesus fucking Christ. Strato Defense Batman. Once again, broken images. Let's see if we can see what he looks like. I was stoked to get a Red Hood animated series figure because I thought it was all alternate timeline. Yeah, I feel that. I didn't even think it was alternate timeline at first. I was just like, okay, so there's going to be bios coming with these action figures that Paul Dini wrote himself, and that's the amount of story we'll get, and the rest of it will be up to our imagination. And then they said, no, we're doing a comic, and you have to deal with it, and there's a full story. What the fuck is this? The color palettes on all of these are just insane. Like, it just looks like someone puked up neon. Like, what in the world is going on? Why is this what was happening in the 90s? I remember when I was a child, my mom used to always tell me that my clothes didn't match. And I'd like to think that maybe my lack of understanding what that meant is because I was growing up in a time where this was a thing. He looks like a cheap dime store spellbinder. And I want to get a cell from the shows, but they are too expensive. Yeah, the cells are expensive. There are some folks on eBay selling them for like around $50 a piece. Sometimes. So those are pretty affordable as far as cells go. If you can track those down. But if you want like a real good cell, that's gonna cost you some money. Are you saying you don't do that to your dog? First of all, I don't have a dog, but if I ever do have a dog again, I will 100% strap a rocket launcher to his back. Why the hell does Terry always need to find something else to fight crime with when the default suit gets damaged when he has all these other variants? That's fair. He should have got combat ready K9 to come help him out. Remember that Batman story in which he has to wear a different color suit each night? That's what the 90s action figures feel like. I do not remember that story. That doesn't ring a bell to me. There we go. We got Laser Batman. I'm surprised that there is a specific Laser Batman. Just because every single one of these variants we've seen so far, I would expect to have some kind of laser capabilities. But Laser Batman needed to be its own separate thing. Then we have the Joker leader. Okay, so they made a pretty decent J-Man toy. That's not bad. Sonar Strike Batman. It's funny that, like, they said, shit, we don't know if we can sell any of these characters except for Batman. Actually, hold on, wait, maybe we can sell this guy because he looks like the Joker. But, like, they never said, let's sell some Spellbinder, some Shriek, some Ink. None of that. They just want to sell. This Batman looks like he's about to join the fucking Hoop Squad. Sonar Strike Batman with Ramjet Rocket Pack and Dual Wing Blaster. Name him Battle Ready K9. It's Combat Ready K9. God, Robert! Just to off-brand. Got it. Okay, that's fair. J-Man, but with the color scheme of the 66 Joker. Yeah, fair enough. And then they had a Batmobile. I know that they did more at some point. Because they did a Joker action figure. And let me tell you, that thing was a fucking nightmare. It might be... Let me see if I can go back to Batman Hasbro Beyond. And see if I can kind of go forward in time to around the time maybe Return of the Joker came out. Oh, it doesn't want to work that way. Okay. Well, then let's use the back button. Okay, because it was under index. Let's see. If we go to like 2001, maybe they'll show up there. What the hell was Hasbro thinking? Man. So, like, a big deal with, oops, it couldn't find the page. That's so wacky. Comic Sans. So, like, a huge thing that I found out with merchandising cartoon shows is 9 times out of 10 cartoons are made to kind of sell toys that already exist. Oh, here we go. Here's some new ones. Surface to Air Batman, Jay's Gang Power Throw, Strike Cycle Batman, Street to Sky Batman. But a lot of the times, they're made to just sell toys that already exist, and that's why 9 times out of 10, a new IP, say like the Zeta Project or Static, won't get action figures because they don't have molds for those action figures already, and there's no way to ensure that either thing will sell toys, right? Whereas Batman, at the time, was a 60-year-old property, and they're not necessarily that they've got these specific Batman molds made, but they have some kind of Batman molds made, and they can reuse some of that stuff for these new lines, and maybe tweak things around a little bit here and there. But more or less, they're gonna want to do what they can to cut corners, and that's why they'll use like the same character over and over and over again, just with different paint jobs, so they can be like, no, we're selling you a different figure. This isn't the same thing. What are you talking about? And nothing here is gonna let me click on it. So that might be where we're about to end. Where we're about to end this for the night. Oh, we have electronic talking afterburner Batman. And nothing. That one is not archived. So I guess that's it for that website. And so we finished the DCAU resource timeline. We went through the little bit of notes that I had for the Batman Beyond miniseries, and we've gone through 2 different official Batman Beyond websites. One being the Hasbro site, and the other being the Rebirth VHS release site. And we got to figure out that neon camo Batman with combat ready canine exists. So now that we're coming up on 3 hours and 45 minutes, I'm thinking about calling it close. I'll look and see if you guys have anything else going on in chat before I get out of here. But I'm thinking that it might be about time for me to get a snack and smoke a little weed and go to sleep in a little bit. Let's see, the Batman Beyond toy. Oh, Batman Beyond has the worst actual toys, but good Burger King toys. Batman Beyond toys make the Batman and Robin ones look like the Godfather. So, hold on. Actually, I want y'all to see. I want y'all to see the Joker toy, because I was expecting to see. I think it's called like Cyber Joker. Because I was expecting to see this on the website, but it wasn't there. Here we go. Cyberlink, or is that what it's called? Virtual Joker Cyber Batlink. Okay. This thing is a fucking monster. Hey, it worked for Beyblade. Are you talking about reskinning the same toy over and over again? Because every Beyblade was different, Robert. Every Beyblade was different. And if you say otherwise, then you're lying to me. This is their Joker. This was the Joker from that toy line. It was a face on legs. It was a very top-heavy face with legs. I think that maybe the legs come up to be wings, but this has never made sense to me. I don't know where this came from. I don't know why this design exists. It's obviously nothing that ever happened in Batman Beyond, and yet Hasbro was just like, hey, let's slap the Batman Beyond sticker onto that, and we're good. Looking through action figures just makes me wish DC did 3.75-inch figures. Oh, it is doing everybody's chat twice on my end. That's weird. But yeah, so now that you guys know that thing exists and that Rob would bang it, that's where we're gonna end tonight. It's been close to 4 hours. So I'm gonna call it. Oh wait, hold on. James actually responded to the thing about Captain Atom and Blight. James says, good point. Maybe the death gas shit alters the equation somehow. So yeah, that's basically what I said. That maybe the radiation is different. But anywho, I'm gonna go hang out with Sissy. She's gonna have to deal with me. I might hop in the Discord voice chat if y'all want to hang out further, but I probably will not be quite as entertaining because the voice chat is very much for other people to steer the ship, and I just kind of work in the conversations that are happening rather than me leading the thing over here. But y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Stay around tomorrow for the new video. What would have happened had Batman Adventures Volume 2 not been canceled? And then come back next week for more Twitch streams Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at noon Pacific time, and Saturday at 6. I love y'all. Take care.